Hello guys, I'll be with you in 1 second. Just sorting something out quickly. Hello. Welcome everybody to the stream today. Sorry for being a couple moments late. I know the time hit 0 and everything. I was just getting a couple things ready. As we are going to get into our first match here in a couple of moments. It's going to be Beyond versus Showtime in a best of 5. As we play through on the new patch, of course. How is everybody doing today? Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As we throw myself over to being a referee, put my match history on. We'll get ready to rumble very, very soon. Just gonna put Showtime and Beyond into play slots. We're pretty much ready to go, guys. Sorry, I had a little something to sort out. Just something went live at 12, literally just as, obviously, the stream begins, which is not exactly ideal timing or anything, but that is just the way of life. Sometimes it be like that. So, yeah, hello guys, how we doing? Alright, players are pretty much ready. I think we got one more caster also join us. We're going to kick off into this guy. Sorry for a little bit of a delayed start. Alright, players are ready. Let's get started, guys. Let's go into Showtime versus Beyond. Best of 5 action. Good morning, Wardy. Surprised to see the stream on the YouTubes, but you like it? Hell yeah, we've been streaming everything on YouTube lately. We've been live probably like at least 4 times a week on YouTube. Pretty much as we've been live on Twitch. Not really skipped anything over. Get ready to jump into ley lines to start us off. That is a donation. Oh my god, that's so big. I can't read your name properly because it's cut off at the top, so let me open my dashboard properly. But thank you so much for the £100 donation to start off the stream. My goodness. I guess let me just get my activity feed open. So bad, Rush. Thanks for the tournament having us. Thank you so much for streaming and casting. That is our one of our casters supporting the stream today. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Alright, let's dive into some StarCraft 2 then. In the bottom left corner of the map, best of 5s all day today. We have in the bottom left corner the Blue Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. We have Beyond. And in the top right, our red Protoss, we have Showtime. Game number 1 of this best of 5 as we get ready to rumble back into the action here today. Playoffs, all of the matches played today. Showtime Beyond, Trap versus Solar. Shin versus Showtime or Beyond, CLEM versus Trap or Solar. We are going to go through absolutely everything today, like I say, so just going to be having a good time as we get this up and ready to roll. Oh, Alright, and breathe. It's been a little bit of a stressful first 10-15 minutes for me, guys. Apologies, but good to see you all. Good to have you with us. Get ready to dive into more StarCraft 2 here in just a few moments' time. Get ready to kick off some games. And really see what the day is going to bring us as well. I do think Showtime Beyond is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, this is on the most updated and recent version of the patch. So if you are not fully up to date with the newest changes on the patch, then you should check that out. The patch notes are linked in YouTube and Twitch chat, so you should be able to find those without issue. There were changes recently, so yes, we've had some changes. They have been setting up. We already had Group B of the tournament was played on those changes actually, so we already had some matches played on the changes. The changes include the Cyclone being reverted back to an old version of the Cyclone. It includes the Ghost nerf with the supply increase as well. So all of those changes are going to be in play on today's PTR playoffs. So yeah, you can get the freshest look at the suggestions for the patch basically. And some great games hopefully to go along with it as well. Actually genuinely excited to see how everyone plays today. I have been thinking as well, guys, and I am looking to try and maybe do a little bit of something in terms of what we're going to do next week. So I think we're going to I think the plan is going to be that we're probably going to run another PTR tournament. I can't actually run the WardiTV Mondays on the PTR because the WardiTV Monday events are sponsored by OSC, and OSC events have to be on the live version of the game. So we can't do WardiTV Mondays on the PTR, but we will have, I think, another tournament Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not Friday, I'm not here Friday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll probably have another tournament on PTR. I'm not sure what to do exactly just yet in terms of format, but I think we just want to see a bunch more PTR games. So there will be more PTR games next week. And yeah, like I say, WardiTV Mondays will be just fairly normal as well. Just regular server, chill out from the patch for a day, see if we hate the patch or love it when we go back to the current version. So yeah, just the way that goes as we get kicking off into this. We see Triple CC from Bjorn. Haven't really talked about this game yet, but he's going to open with a pretty macro-focused start. Have an Reaper still moving about. The +1 attack upgrade coming in. Additional Marines, SCVs, and the refinery building. The Blink chrono boosting out here on the side of Showtime. And an Adept just positioning itself to try and get in position and maybe see if it can get up to any trouble at all over the next few moments. So a few different things happening, taking place as our Nexus goes down. Again, Blink finishing up soon. Stalker Sentry continue to come about. Robo Facility coming in as well. That is about to finish. Hallucination will start to make its way out down to the bottom left-hand side of the map. So going to journey across there straight away. Again, +1 attack. Stimpack continuing through. The factory and additional barracks continuing up as well. Hallucination going to get to the bottom and again just see what's going on. A few Marines hit the Hallucination for a couple of moments. So a few shots off there. And Hallucination just continues to skirt away for the moment. So Hallucination popping out for now. Oh my god, Zergiel just dropped the 50 gifted subs. What's going on today, guys? Hello, big donation, big sub bomb. What is going on? Hello, thank you so much, Zergiel, for the 50 gifted subs. Dropping the hype in the chat. Let's see some Wardy bombs, some Wardy hearts, and all the rest of stuff you can spam. We will, I guess, read those out after the first game because I don't want to read 50 names out as the action is just about heating up. Are going to fight. Stalker's getting pushed back. And a few Stalkers continue to sit out the front as well. As you just see the +1, the Stim, and Combat Shield continue to come around. Again, Robo and Forge coming up as well. Continue to get all of that continuing through for the moment. A couple Stalkers come back over and gather themselves together. Lovely. Alright, well, we gather up. We get settled here. Yeah, that's crazy. Zergiel, man. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Yeah, best. You know what? I'll take note of this 2 months from now and mark you off the birthday gift list already. Thank you. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much for the 50. Hey, yes, 50, guys. 50 heckin' subs, just like that. Kaboom and bang. Orbital Command going to lift off, going to go down toward the third base. There's a few Marines and Marauders going to step out toward the Stalkers here. So I'm going to start pushing this out a little bit of a stim as well to push these Stalkers back. Of course, one of the big things about the Cyclone being changed and reverted is you're just not going to see a lot of Cyclones anymore. So the Cyclone openings are kind of gone. Terrans are going to revert back to a lot of these faster bio-based, upgrade-based setups. Widowmine drops, maybe some tank pushes, although a lot of the tank push power came from being able to kind of go with the Cyclones a little bit as well and support from there. So really kind of expecting to see a very different variety of builds from the Terran players. In theory, this opens up build orders for the Protoss as well, where, you know, Phoenix or Stargate openings were very weak against the Cyclones. There's maybe now a possibility to go back in toward those that we didn't have before as well. As that bio is going to come through and a couple Stalkers getting chased off. Is the new old Cyclone bugged? You heard the range is wrong? It might very well be. Did we even see one being made? We played the entirety of Group B, and I don't think we saw one be made. And that was Bjorn in that group. He was the Terran in that group, so we might not see one today either. So it's very possible. I don't actually know myself. Honestly, the patch notes kind of suck. It's like, hey, we reverted the Cyclone to this, and I'm like, can we have a reminder of what that Cyclone actually did? It's all well and good saying you reverted it, but I don't remember what the Cyclone did back then. Like, I roughly know, but I don't know exactly. I wish they'd updated that just so we had a bit of an easier visual to be able to tell people. There's a couple of units come across. Stalkers are going to come through. Marauder going down. The Marines will fall. We're just going to have Biostim towards the natural as well as Showtime gets forced to defend multiple locations. Must keep that Colossus alive. He needs that splash damage. He does not get it to the high ground. Colossus will fall. He recalls back over here. He might have bought enough time. The fact that Colossus didn't die instantly and kited back for a little bit, I think goes a long way as the Observer goes down. The Zealots and Stalkers charge through. The Sentries are chasing. Colossus is coming. You can see the rest of the bio push back out into the center of the map. As you do see our Stalker's going to go. And Medevac goes down. Marine and Marauder going down as well. Gonna get rid of that Widowmine 2 here as 2-2 upgrades start up on the side of Beyond +2/+1 on the side of Showtime. Extended Thermal Lance finishing there as well. The bio recollects back around on the left, and we continue by for the moment as we just see again the Extended Thermal Lance about to finish. Units move about. Showtime on the move. Again, 2-2 upgrades plus 1 ship weapons all continuing through for the moment as we get to the front. Bio units are going to be there. Zealots. Sentries popping the Guardian Shield up. The Colossus firing a couple of shots in as well. Starting to get towards that command center. Another Colossus comes over. It's going to blink up. The Viking going to go down as well. The rest of these Zealots going to get caught as well now. You can see our Bio still trying to slip through these force fields. The command center taking a couple of shots. Continue to get nibbled at. And that 2-2 upgrade's about halfway done. Plus 1 ship weapons halfway done as well. As Beyond on the defense all of a sudden. Showtime winning fights back at home, playing a good defense. Now going to cancel up the 4th base as he gets here. And that 4th base very close to going down. Stalkers have to blink away again. Extra Zealots show up. And we get ready to jump on forward as the CC gets cancelled. The rest of the bio going to stand there. A couple more Zealots going down again. We're going to come forward here again as the Colossus. Going to just be the real damage dealers. A couple of Vikings seemingly can't get the time to go and properly damage those Colossus. One of them is going to lose its shields, but Stalker's doing a great job of targeting the Vikings as well, so doing a fantastic job there. Yeah, the Colossus are huge. They just consistently work down the HP bars of a lot of the bio, and that allows everything else to play cleanup so much more easily. That's Showtime. 12 SCVs killed, maintaining the worker lead. 5th base on the way up for him. Remember, he's denied the 4th during this attack already, so that's already been a success story. As he's just figuring out whether he wants to fully attack him, which I don't think he does. But what he is doing here, forcing so many stims, now the Medevac's out of energy. Your opponent has to make Vikings because of the Colossus, but the Medevac's out have no energy, so the healing's not going to be there. The Bio Army is going to start killing itself. Each and every stim is going to become more and more painful, and something you can't really do much about. No, the Disruptor! It had a home run, and it just goes through the entire army. Misses everything. That Disruptor shot should have at least clipped some things, and with the lower HP bars already set in place, it would have had a lot of kills as well. Missed opportunity there from Showtime as we are going to dive through. Zealot Stalker Colossus keeps on pushing forwards. I mean, I think at this point it doesn't matter whether that Disruptor hit or not. It would have been a more damning ending for Bjorn. GG would have happened 10 seconds ago instead. Now we are going to be seeing this Colossus force just too strong. Disruptor again. Still manages to miss. I think that Disruptor's a bit bigger, but apparently Protoss players can't aim him quite right. It's going to be good enough for Showtime to take game number 1 of this best of 5 series in the playoffs today. Showtime taking the opening map here as we get ourselves ready for a game number 2. We'll be hopping straight on into our second game in just a couple moments. So let's get that going. Alright. Second map going to be on Ultra Love. Obviously all these new maps as well. Very exciting to see. Let me host this up. Going to go to West as well. So that was Showtime server preference. Now going to go to Beyond server preference. Old Cyclone has longer range. Yeah, it has longer range, but it doesn't really do damage. It's like specifically, the Old Cyclone is specifically very good when you, like, it's specifically very good for, like, zoning out air units or, like, harassment and stuff. And, like, if it gets locked onto a prism, it can chase it down because it stays locked on for so much longer. But it doesn't really do, like, a lot of burst damage, so, yeah. Its lock-on range is, like, the same, but then it has, its actual, like, to lock on, it has to be close, but then once it's locked on, it has a longer range. You stay locked on for longer, but the damage output is just not comparable, which is why the Old Cyclone never got used in a lot of the pushes and so on, which is why the Old Cyclone is being brought back, right, to basically alleviate some of those issues. Zergiel on the 50 gifted subs. Let's run through these names while we load into the next game. Adibukchin, Bella Mivado, The Last Jar, hey, by the way, Tuatha D. Danan, Arev 28, Little Shiva, LH231, Rapo 008, Velik Ides, Indy Vix, Shu, Bruslee, German Warbird, Personal Mountains, Light VIP, Ori Joseph 83, Slippy 313, Ken XXXX, Smash Tomato, Alex Lilimo, Goat Smile, Honey RTS, Kerner 89, Briefmark, Nothing 22859 3027, Picardin 76, Than, and Toast 1797, Max H95, Gobbledygook, Thurinumi, I can't read that name, Thurinum, Ninebreaker, Riku SE2, Mab himself, Victor Anutim, Nasty Lucas, Chef Special 69, Hawk 269, Yzaldar, Hutes Renza, Bass Arnail, Softcore SpongeBob, Don Seneca, Eleanor, U1 1849KA, Knockraza, Lightning Poe, and Canal Ripper BR. Thank you so much, Ziggy, for the 50 gifted subs. Sounds like a spell. Yeah, I'm casting the spell of subscriptions on the chat. By saying more and more Twitch chat names, people are like, hey, I should also gift a sub. And then, we basically become rich, and then we take over the world, and we make StarCraft 2 the international sport of everything. Everyone's forced to play StarCraft 2 from the age of, 5 upwards. We never run out of players. It'd be a good life, This is just the beginning. Bottom left is Björn. He is down a map as we load into game number 2 here. In the top right, our Red Pros player is Showtime. Nothing really happening for the first minute and 20 seconds, so you've not missed anything while I read out some names. And, yeah, we wait to see what our next step of this is going to be. Let me throw us on the indie cam. Get some of that beautiful observing in here rather than the Wardy observing. Had some really great comments the last week telling me how bad the observing's been. I know, guys, my observing sucks. You don't have to tell me that. That's why we steal everyone else's cameras. Yeah, real talk, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Been a lot of support for this PTR event this week. It's been amazing to see, like I say. We were thinking about running another big event for November, but I think we're going to do another week of PTR. I don't know if that's like, maybe another 10-player tournament, and we just run, like, with different players. Like, we invite a few different guys in to play. Or if we... I don't know yet, is the TLDR. I'm not 100% sure what we should do, but I'm kind of feeling like, running some more PTR stuff. Do you guys have any ideas? Would you guys just like to see a selection of open cups? I don't really like the open cups personally. I mean, they're not actually that great. Or maybe I do like a couple of different groups. I don't know. I want to do something, but I feel like it's almost boring to do the same format again. Like, hey, let's do another just 10-player tournament. But it's also been really good, right? So yeah, maybe we maybe we just do another little invitational like this, 1 week long. I think a week long is what I want to do, just because I'm afraid that the PTR goes down or something halfway through it. New maps, old patch, PTR but old maps. I don't think it really makes sense to do those, though, because the reality is we're probably going to be seeing the PTR and these new maps come in together, so we may as well join in completely. A Korean tournament? I mean, we didn't... I think 70% of this tournament was Koreans, no? We had Max Packs, CLEM, Showtime. I think everyone else was a Korean. So this was all ready. very Korean focused. Involve other casters. Okay, you guys are thinking way too big. I'm looking for like a little tournament I can throw together tomorrow and start up on Wednesday or something, you know. We're definitely going to do something PTR based. I just don't know what format to do. On the Korean server, yeah, but the problem is the PTR doesn't have a Korean server. The PTR is only NA Central and NA West. An additional GSL season? You know what? Let me make a phone call. See if we can just organize a cheeky GSL season tomorrow. Gonna see how a couple of Widow Mines coming in. Just gonna get burrowed. This one will go off on a single probe. That's fine for Showtime because it's a very quick management of it. He doesn't have to keep the probes away for too long. Yeah, one medevac and one mine survives, but that mine in there never even got to fire, right? So, not ideal. Stalkers come back across. Robo facility will be finishing soon. Couple of probes coming in, guys. Just want to have a moment of calm. We already have 200 people watching on YouTube in the first 20 minutes a day. Today could be a big YouTube day, so let's make a collective effort to try and make today's YouTube stream awesome. If you are on the YouTube right now, take a second to scroll down and just hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you don't already. But even if you just go and hit that like button, that would be absolutely massive. If even like 25%, if 1 in 4 people in the YouTube stream right now hit that like button, that would be insane. So hit that like button. Let's get that likes number up a little bit. Let's get some great viewership on the YouTube today. It's been amazing to see the YouTube doing so well. I've said this a lot lately, but it really is true. And actually, the difference it's making revenue-wise on YouTube is so much that it's probably the reason we can run another PTR event next week. Like, I have, like, funds I don't usually have, and it's because the YouTube's popping off. So, thank you so much. Your support does help, and it allows us to run more events as well. We'll have more streams for you guys next week, I promise. As our Marines and a couple of tanks show up. So a tank push from Showtime, sorry, from Björn, not from Showtime, is that High Templar gets warped in, dies instantly. I mean, Storm's not even close to being done. Showtime, yeah, I think Showtime just died. You need a Storm at the very least for this. Did he just forget Storm? Did he think he had Storm and he just completely forgot it and I'm just distracted selling out about YouTube likes and stuff? Because that was, because he even warped in that High Templar and it almost felt like he thought he had Storm, no? I mean, his Storm wouldn't have finished, right? I mean, Temple Archive starts now. No. But, like, this High Templar warped in and he, crazy. Why does that oh, he did energy overcharge the High Templar, right? Yeah, so he energy overcharged the High Templar when he warped it in, but then Storm had only just started. Yeah, I don't think he forgot Storm. It was just like he almost thought like, oh, I'll just put energy on this High Templar, and oh yeah, I don't actually have Storm to defend. That's a very fast game. That's a very fast game. Well, that's okay, guys. Those games happen. As we go to game number 3, that was not quite the the moves we were looking for on that game number 2. Yo, we're on 69 likes on the YouTube. That was, by the way, when I said this, we were on something like 25. So when I said if 1 in 4 of you guys do it, I think actually about 1/4 of you guys on YouTube did that. So that's incredible. Thank you so much. Appreciate you responding to the shout out. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome. Twitch, if you want to do something, just sit there and look pretty. You don't have a like button to press. Look, if you guys want to do something, you're going to have to subscribe or something, right? Use your primes, you know? I don't want you to feel left out, but there's nothing as fun as hitting the like button on YouTube on Twitch. So, you know, I can only do so much there. I can only do so much there. All right, we're going to head into our game number 3 here, guys. 1-1 tied up. Pretty cool first game. Pretty bad second game. That's okay. Let's get into this. I think Showtime just missed that this was a Marine tank push coming across the map completely. That's going to happen, especially on new maps and stuff as well. Some of the scouting is never going to be quite perfect. As we get ready to go. And all in the chat, I'm watching Twitch but jumped over to YouTube to press the like button. You know what? That's fine. I like that as well. You head on over there. You give us a view on the YouTube. Honestly, double dip a little bit. The crazy thing is, like, on YouTube, it's so much about just the numbers, and like interactions do so much for you. So you heading on over to YouTube, hitting the like button, being a viewer there for a few moments, genuinely brings other people in as well. It's kind of crazy. You're only seeing 10 likes. I promise you that like has been going up. I've been watching it on my own phone. I've been watching it while casting. They say I don't YouTube and cast, but I'm YouTube chatting and cast. Okay, I'll shut up. In the top right corner, our red Terran player. This is the Shopify Rebellion's Bjorn with a quick cheeky win in that game number 2 to take us to this game 3 all tied up. In the bottom left, our blue Protoss is going to be Showtime. So thank you so much. Just as we get into this one, Kaloff 1 on the 5 gifted subs going out to Liquid, KL, Mammoth of Lame, Pizka 7495, Astragore SC2, and Seviru. Then Nola 10 coming in on the 29-month resub, and Ernol on the fresh new Prime sub as well. Thank you, everybody, especially Kaloff for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all. You guys are awesome. Hello. Hi. How are you all feeling? I hope you're feeling wonderful. I feel like today's going to be a great day. I don't know why. Like, I mean, we're in like our 3rd game of the day. We're just getting started, and I feel like the numbers are looking good. People are subbing. I'm in a good mood. I feel like we are going to have ourselves a good day. I feel like we're going to have ourselves a very good day of SC2, guys. Lovely. Let me just take a few moments. Getting ourselves settled down. Factory starport all coming up. Let me get ourselves into this and see where things are going to go. Curious as to kind of the builds we keep on seeing. Again, Terrans have to shy away from what was a bunch of Cyclone builds before. Is that the end of the world? Not really. Terrans have a lot of build order choices. Showtime consistently going into that Twilight Council Blink-based opener. So going into that Twilight Council again, poking across with a Stalker too, seeing if there's anything he can achieve here. There's not, is the answer. But mine joins up, the few Marines gather together. It's going to be settling down. I have no idea what's going on in Twitch chat, but yes, English only, guys. We do have other language streams where you can go speak the other languages in. Yeah, English only is a pretty common rule on English casting streams. As our factory drops down a tech lab, the Raven coming up, Blink coming through, Robo Facility coming in, a couple of additional probes in production. Our Marines gonna get underneath that hallucination, take that out immediately. And if that comes boosting, we are going to get ourselves in with 2 Widow Mines. They're going to try and unload. Let's see how much we can do. As this is already 1 probe pulled. Beautifully done. Just immediate single probe over there to force the unburrow or the, the ability to kill. I'm actually going to get the kill here. Probes get back to mining ASAP. It is mining denial from Bjorn, but it's very well handled from Showtime. Definitely going to make it a pretty smooth experience in terms of getting back on track. Widow Mine there just hits a probe. The medevac just about escapes away up the left-hand side as well. Siege tank, Marines continuing up, Rax, Engineering Bay, Refinery, all continuing through as well. Next is about to complete. The Observer coming up. Stalkers going to intercept the Raven here. As we do have blinks, that Raven will just go down, caught in the middle of the map. We're on Amygdala, which is probably one of the maps we've seen the least, as this map is completely walled in the center by rocks and gold minerals. Kind of fun. You know what, like, it might not be the most played map, it might not be the most balanced, but if this is one of our crazier, I say in like quotation marks, kind of picks for the map pool, like where we have, you know, every map pool lately's had some crazier maps or some maps that have something a bit different going on and stuff. If this is that map, I'm kind of down with it, like, because I think it's standard enough with that interesting middle that I don't think is naturally kind of, you know, obtrusive to just good StarCraft games. The problem with a lot of the weird maps is like there's something just so damningly kind of weird about them that they just get vetoed all the time. I can see this one being weird enough while also still having a place in the map pool and the vetoes and so on. Just going to be having a few Stalkers chilling out the front. We hang out. Robo Bay Forge continue to come into play. Just have a couple Stalkers going to be there. Medivac holding off to the side. +1 attack upgrade on the Engineering Bay. Medivac still just patrolling on the far left. Trying to see what else is going on. The Observer there keeping an eye on everything as well. Still got that +1 attack, combat shield, and stim pack building through the couple Medivacs coming up also on the side of Yun. And a few Marines going to get there, pick off that hallucination. These Stalkers just chilling out the front. The Medivac still moving about a little bit. Medivacs come down that right-hand side, trying to see what's going on. Just gonna unload, gonna jump onto the Nexus. Just gonna be seeing that getting killed. So that's gonna be an instant cancel. Zealot Stalker pulling back over as well. Do have ourselves the Nexus continue to come through. The Bio just gonna be there, knocking away at this set of rocks. So we continue to pick through this. Rocks will be taking some damage. The CC moving across as well. Again, concussive shells, combat shield, +1 armor. All continuing into play for the moment. Getting set up nicely. We'll get our CC down into location. Again, +1 extended thermal lines, both on the way out currently. Concussive shells, +1 armor. Coming through as well. The few SCVs get back over. Still waiting on that thermal lance. Just looking to get that concluded as we do have that +1 attack coming in. So very exciting because we're going to see Bjorn taking this gold base. Meanwhile, Showtime's starting to open up the rocks, which means that he's going to be able to get access onto the map. The tank play is very important here. If you're not playing tanks, taking that gold is probably not possible because it's just too out in the open center area of the map. Plus, these are one of those newer, kind of smaller sensor towers coming into play as well from Bjorn currently, so getting that set up. Showtime is poking in on the back of the gold base, and like I say, the tanks are an important part of this, because without those, not really much defense available at all. It's kind of awkward, though, because to get the tanks really far forward, you would have to block your own your own mineral patches. And these Colossus are trying to figure out the golden kind of position to hit these gold mineral lines, if at all possible. More shots coming over. Tanks are going to be there. Hallucination overhead. As Colossus still trying to get something extra done here. Going to step through. A couple of SCVs being picked off. Tanks still looking to fire away. Those Colossus do take another beating. But 16 SCVs have now died. So Bjorn trying to really take this gold base. This is just not worthwhile at all. Right? This is just not worthwhile in the slightest. I mean, you invest into that gold and you've just done nothing but lose SCVs there. I don't even think the gold base difference is made up, especially because he's not fully mining the gold because so many SCVs have gone down. Yeah, Showtime was completely correct to come out onto the map, and I just don't think that gold base is defendable at this stage of the game. If you want to take the gold, you got to be the more active play. You got to get out on the map. You got to be proactive. You're now going to see a CC lifting up here as Bjorn has got a Protoss army that's going to be in a very scary position. Prism could head into the main base from there. Colossus could walk up the ramp. We can make this a very annoying fight as Showtime's going to pop the Guardian Shield while CC is going to land back down. The Bio going to start stepping forward. A few more Marauders coming over. We sit there looking back and forth, figuring out what we want to do. Disruptor going to come join up as well. As here we go, Zealot Stalker going to start moving through. The Colossus are going to fire a couple force fields going down. Tanks firing away as well. Those Zealots keep on getting picked around by the Bio army. All the Zealots will fall here. We continue to stim it up. Vikings chasing the Colossus. Stalkers being chased away. And we are going to have ourselves a fight which is pretty even on both sides. Two Colossus still remaining. It's kind of scary for Bjorn, but He's also got some tanks left that will continue to zone, and I think that's a big part of this. Showtime will go into the main with the Prism. I think that makes a lot of sense. Bjorn is not taking a 4th during this. Showtime's on his way to a 5th base, so again, really, really good when it comes to expanding and just taking bases, and that's why I think Showtime's doing more than anything. I think that's why this trade is good for him. It might not be a direct win, but it is absolutely a good position to be in. As our Zealots come through, just going to see our Marines going after those Zealots as well. A couple more Zealots going to get cleaned up as well. Zealot Stalkers, Colossus coming over there. A few SCVs going down. Refineries taking shots also. So a few more hits coming through. Plus 1 ship weapons is still very much so on its way. Those 9 SCVs having died. And the SCVs back on that gold mineral line. Ready to get hit once more, as the Colossus could definitely do something there. There's so many of them there right now as well. Well, 24 over 12, double the saturation necessary. Instantly just has to pull away. We eat a couple of tank shots. We're going to try and go after the gas. You're seeing the +3 attack start on his +2 armor is finishing up as well. First Ghost coming onto the field too. As Showtime will have to deal with those, but he is on a better army. Shards, Zealot Stalkers, Colossus gathering up, Disruptor getting ready as well. A few Marines coming over. Couple more EMPs going down. Disruptor's going to come through. They will start to connect, and the Disruptor's looking as though they're doing a good enough job across that Terran army. Showtime is maxed out still. The Zealot Sword Colossus gathers up. Zealot's is going to charge up. Showtime definitely looking good numbers-wise. We do have a Blink in as well, going after that Siege Tank, getting that grab. A couple Disruptor shots landing as well, and Bjorn does not have the numbers. I mean, to me, this just all comes back to the fact we played this gold base. This gold base was a mistake, I think, through and through, as Bjorn types out GG. Showtime will take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. A couple of longer games once Showtime, gets through to the next stage of the game and doesn't fall apart, kind of getting there to like a tank push, like in game 2. Showtime is looking like the stronger player. That's definitely where we've been so far. As we get ourselves ready for map number 4, we're going to be going into Whispers of Gold. I just wrote down gold, and I was like, golden aura? I was like, that's not in the map pool. So yeah, we'll get this next game coming up in a couple of moments. Heading into Whispers of Gold. Let's go into our lobby and start hosting into map number 4. After this, guys, Trap will be taking on Solar. So we just had a request to actually change up the order of the matches by the players yesterday. So that's why we're starting on the bottom of the bracket. Then we're going to go to the top. Symbion from the lobby. Give me a sec. So just doing that in that regard. And then, so it's going to be Showtime versus Bjorn, Solar versus Trap, then Shin versus the winner of Showtime and Bjorn, and then CLEM versus the winner of Trap versus Solar, and then our grand final at the end of it all. Here in this little cup, how much prize money do we put on for this one? $800? I feel like this has been such a success. I'm really tempted just to run this format back and just do $1,000 next week. $1,000, PTR Cup, Open Qualifier one day. That anyone can play in as well. We'll have it so anyone can play the Open Qualifier. We'll do some invites based on the qualifiers too. Then we just do like 2 groups and a playoffs. I'm really into this idea. I'm really into this idea. I don't know, I like this format, and I think it gives us a lot of games. And then we can just mix up some of the invites a little bit as well. Just have some more PTR games. I think that's awesome, right? I think that'd be a cool idea. I'm into it. Alright, Showtime leads 2-1 as we get ready for game number 4 here, guys. Get ready to kick this off. Going into Whispers of Gold. Yo, thank you so much for the donation. Brendan Reimer, thanks for the tournaments. Thank you so much for the £4 donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you for helping to make these tournaments happen. As we have got in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold. Can he take us to a Game 5? Our blue Terran player is going to be Shopify Rebellion's Bjorn. He takes on the red Protoss in the top left corner of the map as we set up and get ready to rumble. It is showtime. I'm going to get ready to try and get my words out of my mouth next time. Couple probes chrono boosting, so we get those on the way. We bring those about. Just gonna have ourselves the gateway and the probe coming up, a refinery and Iraq's coming online. Yeah, probe continues down to the bottom right hand side. Probe will play the nibbling game. SCV will take some damage. Okay, probe just about gets pushed away. Where is Cyril? No, probably practicing. Cyril doesn't usually play either. I mean, I will not lie, I do not invite Cyril to my tournaments, just on the assumption that Cyril does not want to play my tournaments. If Cyril reached out and said, Wardy, I would really like to play a PTR tournament this week, we would invite him in a heartbeat, but yeah, he doesn't usually play events of this size, so. SV's popping through, the reactor coming up on the barracks as well, by the way, and that's going to be a second Rax from Bjorn, so biocentric play here on Whispers of Gold. This is a map that has a massive main base, big main base, huge drop potential up here, from here. You know, attacking the natural, still drop into the main. There's so much opportunity for dropping in the main. I do like that Showtime goes for the non-Reaper wall-off. I do think the Reaper wall-off is a bit of a bait on this map, honestly. Both barracks continue up, the CC finishing soon. Twilight Council coming up to being about halfway done. We do have our Stalker also in production, so we continue to get that on the go right now. And Tech Lab coming in, another barracks coming through, Marines are producing. As the Adept they move back the other way. Adept is chilling, a few Marines are going to come out. Adept going to try and shade by. Again, Blink coming through, the warp gate on the way in, the gateway coming up. That's Stimpack and Combat Shield continuing by as well. A few Marines continue to produce. It's going to see the Adept shade, going to go down towards the bottom right-hand corner. And a few Marines are going to move back out to the center, so we continue with that for the moment. There's 3 extra gates, a 4-gate Blink. Obviously, maybe it's not a map you want to play a longer game on as pros, but look at all the Blink spots. Hello? Hello? And I'll just waltz into the natural as well because there's no ramp on the natural, man. This map is a Blink paradise. This really, again, size of the main base has an impact early game if you can get aggressive. And no surprise that Showtime will kind of get aggressive in the idea of being like, hey, let's get up in your face. Let's be active straight away. Let's do something about this right from the very get-go. The few Marines will continue around the bottom side. Stimpack, Combat Shield, a few extra Marines coming up, a couple of SCVs coming through as well. Bio Army coming around the left as our Blink and Warp Prism continuing up. You have those extra probes popping out, and now Stalkers and an Adept is going to go hitting and clearing up the Marine at the front as well. That Marine will fall. Fire coming across, the Stalker gets chased, going to turn back around. A couple of Stalkers here getting hit. Adept going down as well. We continue to play the trading game. There's a few more Stalkers taking some shots. We stim up after the rest of those Stalkers now. Marine Marauder continuing out, the factory coming through. There's one Stalker dying. And we continue into this natural where Stalkers are going to be in a ton of trouble, it feels like. A bunch of those Stalkers keep on dropping now as a few more probes go down. Fire moves up into the main base. We see Stalkers going after. I mean, 5 workers. This obviously feels as though it could have been a lot worse, but the big problem for Showtime is that you're not on the map during this. So, yeah, 4 gates of Blink. You're down 8 work. I mean, you got to go right now. I mean, the benefit for Showtime might be that he could overwhelm because units were giving up, but man, there's so much so many units here already. Yeah. This is going to be rough for Showtime. He's going to get a few more warp ins. I mean, Stalkers with Blink have a huge amount of potential. There's no medevac healing. There's no siege tank zoning or anything like that. There's going to be a second bunker on the low ground, but these Stalkers are going to focus in the main base. So yeah, we are going to see... Oh, where's that snow? Not like this. Double bunker on the natural. I think Showtime is going to struggle to do damage here. A couple SCVs will start to drop. 2 going down. Going to look to make it a couple more. 3rd SCV goes down. Marine still firing up onto those Stalkers as the prison moves back up around the top. Looking for a chance to get into this main base once again. Concussive Shells is coming out. +1 attack upgrade on the Engineering Bay coming through as well. Our Stalkers load back into the Warp Prism. And now we pull back around the right-hand side in general here to see what's going on. Concussive Shells about to complete. The +1 armor coming through. Immortal in production on the Robo Facility. Medivacs, Marines, and Marauders all coming out. For the drop into the main base, and Showtime's got some work to do. Definitely behind. I mean, every SCV is going to count. That's why he makes this blink. It's the kind of blink where, like, yes, he gets away with it, but I don't think he takes the risk of trying to get away with that if he doesn't need to. And right now, it's just a case of, like, every SCV is going to matter. So, yeah, you make that risk of, like, I'm going to blink, get an SCV, and get out, because there's a lot of ways in which that could have just gone wrong. So, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense for Showtime in this scenario. But he's definitely playing into the situation, which does not feel great for him right now. I can promise you guys that much. He definitely can't be feeling all too grand about how things are currently set. You have our Robo Bay about to finish. Big army from Bjorn coming across the map. He's going to split into 2 parts as well as Showtime. This way he's just going to get tested numbers-wise. He has some force fields available, and Mortal shows up. It's going to die. He gets collapsed in on. He is going to die. We're going to go to Game 5. We're going to go the full distance in this series. Opening matchup is going to have a full-on 5 games. They've maybe not been the craziest games. They've maybe not been the most kind of back and forth. Each game's been pretty decisive one way or the other. But hey, we can't really complain about 5 games when we get 5 games, right? So, less complaining and more casting. We're going to go into El Dorado to round this series out. El Dorado. Get this set up and ready to begin, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Appreciate you all being here. YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching from, thank you so much. As we get ready for, like I say, Showtime Beyond game number 5. We go the distance in our very first match of the day. It will be Trap versus Solo to follow up on this as well, guys. That will be coming up after. Showtime and Beyond both going to ready. And so we can start nice and quickly. Don't mind me, just interested to see what the YouTube... Man, we're at 113 likes on the YouTube stream. In the first hour, it's really kind of pretty crazy. I'm almost tempted to find out how many likes the usual videos get on the lives. Yeah, we've been doing pretty well on the likes lately, but we had over 100 in the first hour is really insane, so... yeah. Mental. That's what you could say about that as we get into a 5th and final game of our opening series TVP. In the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion, we have Bjorn. In the bottom right, our red Protoss player, we have Showtime. Yeah, when he gets past the first few moments of the game, he's been pretty darn good. He's been very controlling, able to do a lot. He just has struggled to get past the first few moments of the game. This is what's happened repeatedly here for Showtime, unfortunately. So, has definitely created some issues for him. If this probe comes over, just going to be having ourselves the probe coming across, going to go nibble at that SCV. A couple nibbles coming down. Command center producing workers. Barracks in the gateway continuing up as well. I have that Nexus continuing on through. A couple of SCVs will continue to chase and nibble and do what they can. Is Wardy alive? I'm an AI generated caster. Who do the AI generate me from? From me? But then am I not alive? Which version of me is it? Oh my god. Well, I think we're asking questions we're not meant to ask right now. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I cancel building, following a probe. It's kind of doing some scouting here early. Checking around to see if anything's going on. Triple CC from Beyond. He's going to build that third base. Look at that. He's going to build that third base on location as well. That is absolutely crazy to me that you're going to build your third on location at such a fast timing as well. This is one Rax triple CC. Mega greed here out of our Terran player. But if you get away with it, then that's absolutely huge too. There is absolutely potential to get away with it, and if you do, then brilliant. What will Showtime do? I mean, you got to look at Showtime in this game right now, and you know what has he been able to see? Well, he didn't see the third base coming online because who checks the third base location that early in the game? So he's not going to have scouting. If he naturally decides to be aggressive like 4-gate Blink Stalkers, then I think he's going to be in a very good spot, but that's not a guarantee, especially after it didn't work out last time. Again, Reaper coming up, the Blink and the Warp Gate coming through also. We got that underway. Let's have ourselves the Robo Facility starting up right now. Control pylon down, just gonna get the Blink coming up as well. It looks as though Showtime will just take a third base, but he's gonna be taking this third base off of, like I say, a very economically focused Terran player. We're going to start getting to the point where upgrades and tech units come out for the Terran, and he's just going to have so much. Beyond is going to be in such a killer position in this game, it feels like. Stalkers will just settle in the front, like you say. It's just light pressure / scouting from Showtime, not actually looking to deal any damage. Impacting +1 coming through. A few Stalkers do get here. I mean, to be fair, nothing on this third base, so we just got ourselves 3 SCVs for. Hey, you know what? I'll take that. Third base lifted off, not, producing SCVs. We lose a few workers. It's obviously not Showtime killing Beyond for taking that third super early, but it's a step in the right direction. He's even going to bring the third base back into the natural, so it's going to be a while until that's back in position here. I think that's okay for Showtime. At least he did something, right? There's a world where he just never does anything, and then it really does just get away from him. Now you've done something at least. There's definitely going to be a weird timing here where he's got to get the Robo Bay up and a unit out of that to help him defend. The starport is done, so medevac should not be far out. Comes across, just scouts into the front of the natural. Combat shield about halfway done. A couple medevacs and marines coming through. The additional barracks going down. Third base lifts off and is just going to move in that direction. As you are going to see one Marine getting shot down immediately. The rest of the bio facing all the way out through the middle of the map now. The Stalkers did pretty well to get away. Going to blink one more time and stay out of trouble. For the moment, at least. Combat shield's done very shortly. Again, extended thermal lance coming through. The Colossus and the Charge are coming up. The medevac going to load up a couple of bio units. And the two medevacs will go around the bottom side. Of course, the bottom portion of this map is locked off. Golden Wall-esque, if you remember the map. Definitely has those kind of vibes. Definitely has taken inspiration from that map. Showtime Hallucination moves out and is going to spot those medevacs and where they're going to, I believe, straight away. So, yeah, perfect scout on the Hallucination. And now those medevacs won't do much. It's up to Bjorn to maybe try and find damage elsewhere. We're going to move the Stalkers into the mains and the other units elsewhere as the ground attack is coming. We dive to the upper right. Nexus is going to get cancelled. Probe, Pylon going down as well. So we get rid of the fourth. Showtime really just determined to make sure that this does not go any further than that. Yeah, losing the fourth base is definitely a big step in the right direction for Bjorn. Is able to do a lot with that. As another hallucination shot comes about, the medevacs get pushed away again. So far, so good. Medevacs in the center, obviously the rest of the bio coming around the top. Showtime now taking that more forward base, so a little bit of a different approach there. And that position be one that works for him, as we're going to see a few units moving there. Showtime's got to figure out a split right now. He's going to take some damage. He's at the very least going to lose the fourth base, I believe. He tried to pull back towards it, but I think he just decided to give up on it in the end. He just doesn't get that many units around the top portion of that army, so that doesn't exactly go too well. You see a few Stalkers and the Zealots moving about. Wouldn't mind going down. 1-1 upgrade still coming through. The Bioforce pressing forward. All those Zealots getting cleaned off. The Adept, Stalkers, Sentries chasing the rest of the Bio away. Well, scan comes down, observer falls, rest of the bio coming across the right-hand side. Bjorn, 172 to 156 supply. Showtime just issues a fourth base. If he had a fourth base up during this would have all been fine, but that has been what Bjorn has been succeeding in. Getting that fourth base denied, that has obviously been absolutely huge. Showtime with some probe hallucinations starting to move about as well. Something he's very fond of is hallucinating those probes and moving them kind of forward onto the map, getting them into some fun positions, and just kind of scouting with those as well. So that's going to be where he gets a lot of his vision from. Prison speed coming up. 2-2 upgrades. Still on the way by. The 2-2 coming through from Bjorn as well. +1 ship weapons halfway done. You scan out to the right once again. And Bioforce will fight, and a couple of Zealots will begin to drop. Zealots and Stalkers keep coming over. So we just have the Colossus going to be able to make a cleanup. I mean, we don't lift anything up, as we know the Stalkers are going to do a decent job of clearing out. Good defense from Showtime. It's a lot of supply loss for Bjorn. I think that's a big step in the right direction for Showtime, who needed something of a bigger win in these games. And I definitely think that is something of a bigger win right then and there. So, love that move for Showtime. I think that's going to be massive for him. Fire dives up, couple Colossus trying to dive backwards. One Colossus goes down. Next Colossus taking some shots as well. Bio continuing through. Nexus cancels. It's going to go after the pylon. Couple probes get chased. Units continue to move about for now. gonna see our Stalkers results coming about. It's gonna be seeing the bio units unloading once again. Trying to move up. Showtime in position again, doing a great job of continuing to defend. Stalkers chasing after the medevac, potential to blink down and across and after. Again, +2 armor about to finish, +3 attack still coming through. The Vikings going to go after the Colossus. First one goes down. Second Colossus going to get a beating as well. Man, a lot of Vikings, and they're going to succeed in their duties. Now we have to rely on these disruptors, which will be able to come through. Gets a good clip there, takes out a couple of units. Of course, there's Disruptor, larger radius, less damage output. Doesn't one-shot Marauders from full HP, I believe, but this is what I always thought. People complain about, you know, the units don't always get going one-shot. It takes away the kind of the impact of the Disruptor, but man, like, a lot of the time the Disruptors aren't hitting full HP units as this Disruptor shot is going to go dead center, and now a bunch of low HP Marauders aren't exactly going to do well, retreating away. Some of them can't even stim. Showtime on the chase. The medevac's bottom side are going to have to retreat, apparently. Come home to try and help defend this, and Showtime is going to go on the hunt. Command center taking some damage. The army of Showtime continuing across. He reinforces with everything here. As we do scan this, Bjorn decides he's going to go backstab with those 3 medevacs. Showtime is completely maxed out. He needs to start trading so he can warp in defensively. As we, I mean, this is not going to go well for Bjorn. He's got Vikings on the ground taking up a lot of supply. No Colossus in sight, and we don't even need the Disruptor shots right now. As we do see Bjorn, he's actually flanking. He's coming in from the right side. The Disruptors are all caught. So Bjorn is going to find each and every Disruptor. The Prism flies overhead. Fortunately, not many Marines, so that Prism will survive. Showtime has gone up the ramp, continues this push in. He's getting himself in a dangerous spot here, but can blink away defensively if needed. Waiting for a warp, and he's got the Prism set up. 24 SCVs have already gone down. There's the warp in of Zealots to try and get in front of those Stalkers and protect other Zealots on that base. Well, that's a planetary. That's not ideal, but now they're going to come and sandwich in the Terran army. Marauders, low HP still as the Zealots come crashing forwards. Stalkers doing what they can. The Zealots are holding up very well in this fight. +3 finally finishes for Bjorn to give him a little bit of an edge at the very end. Showtime blinks away, down half the army supply, but of course can warp in, and most importantly is up 30 workers, and I don't see Bjorn getting across the map to immediately punish Showtime's army supply, as Showtime re-adds Disruptors to the army. Dark Templar coming up as well with that Dark Shrine just now starting. Showtime puts himself in a fantastic position there. Fascinating fight because of the triple medevac drop coming from the other side and killing the Disruptors. That really kept Bjorn alive, because if Showtime just makes this a one-sided fight from one direction, he never gets flanked. Eventually those Disruptors come through to help out again. Bjorn was able to deny those, and that is the only reason I think he was able to make something of a trade out of this. Obviously losing a lot of his SCVs in the process as well, kept the army protected a little bit. Drop one Marine on the watchtower, the bio back around the top side. Gonna get there. Zealot gonna get picked off immediately. Disruptor from afar. It's gonna clip a Marine. Take that out. Ghosts on the way in from Bjorn, of course. Ghosts with a little bit more supply cost now. Don't think Ghosts are gonna be a huge change in PvP. I don't think that's a factor, honestly, because the little bit of supply difference they make. I mean, Ghosts are not something you need to mass in TvP like you do in TVZ. So, first few coming up. You see Protoss Army going to turn around here. Marauders going down. Marines getting shot at. So you're going to see a little bit more of the bio stepping through. Another Disruptor shot, trying to push away. Zealots warp in. Prism coming up. Dark Shrine coming through. The +1 Shields is on the way now as well, as we are going to see the Colossus turning around. Some Zealots are going to charge up. Stalkers coming after. So we'll keep coming through as we see the Disruptors join in as well. The Colossus fire some hits off onto Widow Mines. Now we're going to work our way through this refinery as the Zealots come down toward the low ground. Bio in the bottom going to go after some other Zealots as well. Probes get chased from the gold base. That Nexus will fall. A few more Zealots warping in. And we have got ourselves, I mean, a nice pick off there by Bjorn. Showtime also trying to fight this army. Bjorn is a little bit wrapped up. A lot of Ghosts in this army as well. Disruptor's going to get eaten up by the Widow Mine shot. Oh, we hit the Ghost with the Disruptor. The one Disruptor that really lands. Hits absolutely huge as Showtime Definitely going to make a bit of a defense off the back of that. That was one hell of a disruptor shot right on those ghosts. Beautiful connections. The Stalkers blink up. The Medevac takes some damage. We will be seeing a few more Zealots charging out in front, getting in front of those bio units, tanking the Marauder shots, allowing the Stalkers to blink in after as well. Game is very much so still going on. We're 140 supply each. So upgrades are pretty even. Obviously Showtime with the Dark Shrine getting Shadow Strike, going to have some more harassing opportunities still. Extra Zealots warping in as well. 155 to 170 supply. Man, it's been a fascinating game. Really felt like Showtime had a lot of the edges, but some of the fights, Bjorn's been able to just make those little things go his favor to help him out. One DT going to go towards the upper left-hand side. Going to be seen by a planetary fortress, so turned around from there immediately. Disruptor going to get taken out. A couple more EMPs coming through. More Disruptor shots come about as well. Bio still stepping through the center here. Gun maxed. Showtime not maxed. Is that a concern for our Protoss play? I mean, beyond the fact his economy has come back on track is incredible. Showtime has spent a lot of money on DTs. These DTs going to go top left and probably going to cause a lot of trouble. There's no units nearby. Planetary fortresses do not defend themselves. Scanning the Observer is going to mean less scans for the DTs, although I think we have plenty of scans here. This base is dead. Plain and simple, we blink in. We're not even going to go after the missile turret there. We're just going to swipe it down. We have the damage output to get that there, and the SCVs will start to drop as well. This is the power of the DTs at this stage of the game, as we do bring a couple away. Oh, we didn't actually have to drop a scan. All of those were in missile turret range. But yeah, one base goes down. Showtime will be happy for that, interrupting that economy of his opponent at least a little bit. As the Protoss is getting pushed back, Terran is chasing. Absolutely looking to just come straight through here, and you're going to see Vikings going to go after a Colossus. Battery in play. You're going to see the next Colossus is going to take a lot of damage too. We're going to struggle with our own force fields now, I think. Last Colossus is about to go down. Disruptor shot does clip some Marauders on the edges. We scan for the Observer as we exit. The Vikings trying to make use of themselves. DT's now coming in from the other side, and EMP will go down, but then we blink the DTs out of there, man. The fights are fantastic right here in this matchup. Being great stuff. Great StarCraft here so far. Showtime, once again, though, is dipping in supply. Has money to spend, but not really too much gas. Might have an issue if he can't get the gas count up and spend his money. 14 Zealots are nice, as long as he's got some tech units behind it, and that's kind of our question mark. Does he have the tech units behind, or not right now? That's kind of, like I say, the big question mark in this game currently, as we get advanced ballistics on the way, Neo-Steel plating, Bjorn accepting the later game. I mean, we are 20 minutes deep almost. This game is absolutely going to the later stages. There's pretty much no surprises about that right now. The Zealots try and charge through. Disruptors find an army in the center. Couple connections there, and a few units go down. Showtime takes a cluster of bio forces down. Another disruptor shot or two firing in nicely. Some Zealots trying to go through the bottom, but there's no access points created through the bottom for the Zealots to go with or to do anything on. Showtime starts to fight, but the Ghost EMPs will come out, and Showtime just has to back it up for the moment. More units gather together. Medevac's overhead, a little bit of bio heading around the top right. Gonna get behind that mineral line and just gonna go after some of those probes. It's not a pretty fight for Showtime. He's kind of running units in, and they're just kind of dying as they have to run around the corner. Didn't really surround that Terran army properly. Colossus are failing to join that fight as well. Missing the splash damage really is the biggest issue there. Still have advanced ballistics, still have +2 ship weapons all on the way through. Bio to the top gets rid of a pylon. Oh, we're going to go blinking in. Enthusiastic to start this fight. Is that going to be good enough? That Colossus is putting work in the Zealots. Well, wow. I mean, I know a lot more Zealots showed up, but I thought the start of that fight wasn't good enough for Showtime. He loses a base in the bottom. Again, Bjorn really utilizing the map really nicely now, where this map is obviously very much so about kind of this bottom side access, and Showtime's not really got access there, and he's struggling to move from the top half to the bottom half of the map. Sentry units duty, as we are going to see the Vikings going down. Those Zealots actually going to end up flanking from the top side as well. Bjorn does not have enough medevacs to get away. The rocks go down. Oh my goodness. We do just about get away. Showtime might have to go after those rocks, as we are going to sit behind this gold base here, and we will get SCVs. Oversaturation from Bjorn as he's running out of places to send SCVs, apparently. Might even be worth him giving some SCVs up if that's the case to, afford more army supply if he gets back to being maxed. Right now we're close to that, but not quite there yet. Showtime will open up these rocks. Access to top and bottom portions of the map going to be easier to come by now. Beyond finally getting some of his Liberators out here. Are they stepping too far forward? No, Showtime's not sure about fighting there. He's going to step back. Now he actually decides to go for this. So fighting through the Liberator damage output. A lot of the Libs are to the top, so coming through the bottom, it's not so bad. The Libs will have to reposition. Disruptor's very scared to come through, and I don't really blame them. They've got to go through Lib zones to join in now. We're killing a lot of SCVs. Again, Showtime losing a lot as well, but I think this is okay for him. The Storks can blink to the south to escape, and they'll do exactly that. We're getting out of there with a bunch of those Stalkers. 17 SCVs killed. Showtime still struggles supply-wise, though. He lost a lot of army there once again. And Liberators are going to continue to make this a challenge for Showtime now, as he has to figure out how to clean those out and trade effectively into those Liberators. Going with a ton of orbitals, so mules can make up for some of the economy losses. And now you're going to see the kind of the skinniness of this map come into play, where a lot of these avenues are very well defined on single pathways, and those Liberator zones are going to be so tough to break through because they're going to cover the entire pathway that you're working on at any point in time. Prism around the bottom side, that might be a bit of a switch up that Showtime needs. He's trying to take the 6 o'clock gold base himself. A Liberator to his main base, he'll have to go and handle that at the same time as well, as ghosts are popping. Marine Marauder Medevac still building. Liberators continue to join on through, as we're just going to be seeing the armies at the top, trying to figure out what we can get up to right now. Prism heads into the main. Just going to unload a few Zealots, or at least that was the thought process. But the units pop out. Prism just about survives. Save that for another time. Both players will take a moment. Both players will remax. 23 minutes here on El Dorado. Game 5 of this opening best of 5 today. And we finally find the back and forth action that we're looking for between these two. It took a little while. The first matches were really, oh, Bjorn's just going to kill Showtime super quickly, or the other way around. This one has been much more back and forth. That's a lot of SCVs. That's a big base denial as Liberators start to show up. Showtime's going to, I was going to say, he's getting himself in the corner there, but he is going to go for the recall. Colossus gets out alive. A lot of Zealots left behind, unfortunately. I think that's a lot of gifted supply from Showtime. I think he could have probably collected himself together a little bit better there, honestly, as Showtime now using the recalled units to get over here and hit this freshly placed orbital command. Every orbital we lose, fresh mules that we lose, money that Bjorn could have really done with, and even at this point, just orbitals themselves, right? Scans and mules, very, very important. Fire coming across, Prism escapes up the left-hand side once more. Man. Fantastic game. Bjorn is actually only on 36 SCVs, so any orbital you lose is a big deal. Catching the Liberators. Showtime going to knock down 3 of them. Disruptors zoning to the south, and he's once again going to have access here, as Bjorn is going to find himself caught on the bottom portion of the map, having to come through the rocks and go through to try and protect his gold base. Bjorn can't really make his way through at all. The 2 Colossus still alive, by the way, so racking up the kills and the damage. Disruptors will zone, and Bjorn has no option but to go across the map and initiate something of a base trade. But that's not really what he wants to do. I think he knows that's not going to work too well. There are units back at home from Showtime. He'll take a moment. He's in no rush to fight this because he's got the advantage in the base trade timing, so he can take a moment to step back and let this develop still. Now he's going to gather everything up. Couple Colossus, huge factors here. EMP's coming down. Not really enough Zealots, but we could maybe get a warp in of those soon. Gun supply overall is dropping, dipping, as we do see Showtime chasing that army down, sitting on the natural, knocking down production structures. The Bioforce coming through. The Stalkers taking damage. Zealots trying to tank. The Colossus take a step back, and the Stalkers will blink to chase the Medevacs, but he doesn't get there, but it does not matter, as Bjorn does not have enough. GG is called, and Showtime takes it 3-2. Victorious in the round of 6. Our first series of the day ends on an absolute epic Showtime Bjorn series, or game. Awesome, awesome game number 5. And just like that, guys, we are going to have our first semi-finalist advancing. It is going to be Showtime. He will be taking on Shin a bit later today. Shin, first place in the group, has to go straight through there. Alright, so we're going to go solo versus trap, guys. I'm going to get that veto started at least. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna have to run ads after a long game and stuff, guys. I want to say shout out to the YouTube. 544 viewers is an all-time viewership record on YouTube. That's bonkers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We've got so many matches to come. We've got Trap versus Solar, then Showtime versus Shin, then Clem is going to be waiting for the winner of Trap and Solar to play as well. We got loads of series coming up. 4 more best of 5s today. This really was just the beginning. And we will get this ready to go. A go. Is this the newest patch? Yes. This is the Ghost 3 supply patch. Sorry guys, just explaining the veto process. It's a bit weird because we only have 6 maps and it's obviously a best of 5. So, maybe we shouldn't have done a veto. Maybe we should have just done pure map picks. Probably would have just made more sense to do no veto. Didn't really think about that, to be honest. Just waiting for Trap to pick the first map here. As the players are here, we're just, like I said, explaining the veto process. Yeah, probably should have just done the, should have just gotten rid of the veto. Why not add a 7th map? Just because I'd rather actually just focus on testing new maps in general. That's all. Just focus on testing the new maps. I mean, not a big deal. So, Trap has now picked Solar's veto. Ay. This has become more complicated than I thought. Ay. Hang on, getting the sword out, guys. I need a nip downstairs for half a second as well. Sounds like a justified reason to preset the maps. Yeah, maybe. I probably just should have done map picks. Alright, I'm just gonna go turn the heat off, guys. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Yobby. Am I going to be putting out the VODs of today's matches? Yes. VODs in all the usual places. Unless my Twitch VODs got turned off recently. I hate it when this happens. Yeah, for some reason my VODs aren't on. Oh. Alright, we figured out the veto process, guys. Alright, this took a couple moments, but we're back on track. We're getting there. Game in just a few. Just trying to fix my VODs. The other VOD should be up as well. I'm presuming that the other VODs aren't up. Yeah, I'll fix that. I can just never remember where to go to do this. Yeah, they should be coming up now. It's Twitch turns off your auto VOD publishing when you get like the most minor of like copyright claims or something on like a song. So yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players are ready. Let's get into this ZVP. Yeah, let's get into the ZVP. Solo was set as Terran, but we just switched. Sorry, I'm coming back over to the YouTube. Eric coming in with the €6 donation. Over on the YouTube says, Protoss is clearly OP. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Like I say, I appreciate the love and everything coming in on the YouTube lately, guys. It's actually kind of crazy. Peaking over 500 views in the first match of the day. Let's hope the rest of the games are just as awesome. I think we've got some great ones coming up. Couple ZVPs in a row now. A matchup that's very interesting with the changes. No battery overcharge, and yet pros players have done pretty well at holding out and defending and kind of getting through to the next stages of the game, even against some of this Zerg aggression. So that has me wondering what else is going to happen as we go into this best of 5. In the bottom left, our blue Protoss player, we are starting off with Gen G's Trap. In the top right, our red Zerg is going to be Solar. 6 maps in best of 5 with 2 vetoes. That's the thing. So the way I was setting it up was one player based on their seeding from the groups, based on whoever got a higher position in the groups. One player got to veto a map, and then the other player got to the first map pick. And being first map pick is kind of nice because you pick map 1 and 3, but obviously being able to veto a map's very nice as well. So it was kind of like, I thought it was fairly fair. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, this is also just a small little PTR tournament. It's like, it's not the end of the world, right? But apparently that was very confusing for these guys. So it worked fine in the first series, but for the second series it's a bit crazy. So maybe for the next match we'll just do 5 picks, and then the last map just isn't played. I think it's probably going to be easier. Hey guys, Solo got signed by Falcons, it seems. He's just put Falcon in his clan tag. That's super exciting. Is that actually announced anywhere, or is that just hidden information still? I mean, it must be announced somewhere, right? Let me have a look. I just missed this, apparently. 16 minutes ago! Oh my goodness. Stola joins Falcons. Now, Falcons are the champions of the eSports World Cup in terms of the overall competition. So, yeah, that's a really great team to be joining. That's really exciting, as we do have ourselves the probe getting chased around a little bit. And we get ourselves settled in. A couple drones nibbling. And we get set into game number 1 of this best of 5. Excited to see where we're gonna go. The Trap Solo is a very fun matchup, although to me, I actually think this matchup has not been as good as it has lately, as good as it could be lately. To me, I feel like Solo Trap should be really awesome, and in the end, I feel like Solo just keeps getting the better of Trap. 4-2 and 2-0 the last couple times they played, then Trap 2-1, but then Solo won 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. So yeah, Trap's only won once since his return in 2024. I don't know, to me this should be a good series. I know Trap can be really good, but clearly Solo just puts on a little bit too much pressure or hits him in the wrong ways. Maybe a little bit of a stylistic factor. Is eSports World Cup SE2 confirmed then? I would not say it's confirmed, but honestly, I think it's very unlikely StarCraft 2 is not going to be at the eSports World Cup anyways. So I wouldn't say it's confirmed, but I think everyone is pretty much just proceeding with the idea that it will be there. Personally, I think at this point, it's not so much a question of will StarCraft 2 be at the eSports World Cup, but more of a question of how much of a circuit do we get alongside SE2 being at the eSports World Cup? Like, is it just going to be the World Cup? Or are we going to get like a couple of events alongside, like a build-up to the World Cup as well, you know? So, yeah. Why the Atlanta Falcons signing Solar? Yeah, he's a great. What position would Solar play in the NFL? Probably none, because he's not a very tall guy. I don't think Solar's like tall enough to really be an NFL player, but maybe a strategic. Maybe he's just a strategy man. Maybe an offensive coordinator or something. Something along those lines. He's a coach. If he made that switch, I would have to guess. Water boy. Water boy. Wow. Way to call a man out. Hey Solar, you know what I think your aspiration could be? I think you could be a water boy. The budget's also a question mark. I think the beautiful thing about eSports World Cup is they actually don't care about money. So, as much as it might be a question mark, I honestly think I actually honestly think they would not like the idea of going for less than last year. I mean, this is all speculation, just to be completely clear. I don't think it's the kind of event that makes the next year smaller than the year before, because money is not that much of a problem to them. So, yeah. Water boys get picked by, but I'm sure they do. It's just the fact that you're like, hey, what role would you put Solar in? Someone's just like, yeah, I know, Water Boy. So yes, definitely a good sign for StarCraft 2 in general, guys. I mean, the signs all point to being positive. It's just we don't actually have solid information, so we'll continue to hope that more and better information continues to come through for us. Anyways, a couple of oracles are flying about, +1 and Blink on the way in from Trap. A couple of additional gateways are on the way up as well, so we're bringing all of that through. The Lair on the way, Hatchery, Evo Chamber. A few things already moving about from Solar out into the center a little bit as well. And those oracles just regathering and back toward the top. Going to drop a Revelation as we go, pick off some Cryptumors as we head around as well. I'm just going to run by this bottom side. Of course, oracles and Energy Overcharge have been a really great combination, given that Energy Overcharge to Oracle has meant that you need less Oracles to be as successful as before. I think the days of Triple Oracle might be kind of over. Triple Oracle was such a fact. I mean, there is some benefits to having 3 Oracles, which is that 2 Oracles can obviously harass while 1 Oracle plays defense. But beforehand, Triple Oracle felt like such a necessity because the Stasis Ward usage and so on was big. With Energy Overcharge, a lot of those reasons to go 3 Oracles are gone. Not all of them, but quite a few of them, I would say. And so I think Triple Oracle is not going to be as much of a go-to as it used to be. Triple Oracle was a massive go-to. Like, it was the build to go for in PvZ. I think we're going to see it still be a factor, but much less of a kind of guarantee than what we saw before. As there's going to be 6 probes going down at the same time across the map. The Stalker Sentry going to come through, and good Force Field's going to trap some Queens in. Seeing if that's going to be good enough here. As we're actually going to be able to keep on finding some Roaches. Blink almost done. Now the Sentry's out of energy. Ravagers start to morph. Actually going to cancel those as the Oracles come over. They don't have much energy to help out with. A couple transfusions going down. Blink now done. +1 now done. We're going to get overwhelmed. Do we have any reinforcements? We do not. And the Lings are still going on the other side. Trap honestly looking okay, but I think Soul is just about going to be able to fend Trap off, and Trap continuing to take damage back at home. 2 more probes going down. What a defense from Solar. That looked terrifying right away. As we do see more Roaches moving about. A couple of Oracles overhead. Swarm Hosts in production. Storm Charge, +1 armor. Continue to come about as our Ling Roach army continues to go down the bottom. And Solar debuting for his new team here, looking to get a first map win under his first performance for them. And he's coming straight through as a couple of Stalkers will start to fall. Of course, Blink is available. Behind this, the Infestation Pit was put online, and it's Swarm Host in the production tab. So we're going to try and go there. Of course, if there's less Oracle play, you could argue maybe Swarm Host become a bit better. That's a great question mark. And no Overcharge as well. Maybe Swarm Host would be really good in this meta, actually. Interesting. Well, just going to be seeing the Roaches getting pushed back over the right-hand side. Again, we get ourselves Storm coming up, Charge on the way. 10 more Roaches producing from Solar. A couple of Swarm Hosts coming about as well. It's another Ravager being brought up. Little Revelation goes down on the Roach Ling Queen. Storm about 10 seconds from finishing. So you continue to move across. Just going to be seeing the charge, the +1 armor, continuing on by. And the Swarm Host is going to get caught a little bit. I mean, if you force them to activate early, that's a win, and that's exactly what Trap's hoping for, and that's exactly what Solar will not do. He'd rather lose the Swarm Host and not activate them yet, and activate them when they get a bit closer. You don't want to use your Locust mid-map. That takes away so much of the momentum you're hoping to build with those Swarm Hosts. So Void Ray shows up. Now he's going to have no choice. He's going to lose 1 more Swarm Host as here come those Locusts. High Templars are here, but the High Templars, they will be able to storm. That's actually going to be a pretty good defense against the first round of Locusts, I think. But we actually losing some of the High Templar. Oh, only one went down. The other got healed up by the battery. Was good enough to stay alive. Wow. Trap holds for the moment, but still down heavily on supply. I mean, that's meant to be the case when you play against Swarm Hosts. I feel like maxed against 116 is maybe a bit too much of a difference to what you're kind of meant to be seeing. Ling Roach Ravager gets to the bottom. Stalkers continue to kite back. We're all going to be seeing the Roach Ravager still pressing up. A couple Stalkers going to get involved. Storm going down. Roach Ravager taking hits. Stalkers going to have to keep on making moves here. Swarm Host going to drop the Locust down once again. Void Ray overhead. Couple of corrosive barrels trying to drop in toward the batteries. The Roach Ravager onto the Nexus. Battery's going to drop into this mineral line now as we continue to put some work in. 5, 6, 12, 30, and 17 probes. The damage being done as Solar is going to break through Trap. It looks as though it is going to be good enough in the end. Trap had one really good hold on this, but just didn't have the setup overall to keep it going, as now the Swarmhost definitely making their mark on this game and definitely looking great in this opener of this second best of 5 out of 5 best of 5s today. GG, and Trap takes the loss in game 1. Solar advances to the semifinals. Nope, not the semifinals, to a 1-0 lead in the round of 6. I'm just going to skip the next 2 games, apparently, guys. Who needs to watch games 2 and 3 after a performance like that is so game-defining? No, 1 map win still actually only equals 1 map win. Still is just up a game. I'm getting way ahead of myself for some reason in my head. I think just because I was talking about semis and stuff. Had it on the mind. All right, game number 2 coming up is going to be Whispers of Gold. The lobby link down and get ready to go into game number 2 in just a couple of moments, guys. Just getting everyone in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready, go. Perfect. These guys aren't going to mess around. Eric with the Protoss OP comment before, coming with another 6 heroes this time. Protoss is clearly underpowered. You know what? I appreciate it. You know, swing. Be open-minded, you know. Let the games do the talking. Protoss loses. Clearly underpowered. Protoss wins. Clearly overpowered. Beautiful stuff. Wardy fixing the turn. Yeah, I've officially eliminated Trap. We already have a Protoss in the Look, we already have a Protoss in the semifinals. Do you know how bad it would be for Protoss' reputation if 2 Protoss made the semifinals? I see Solar taking 1 map. I'm going to run with it, okay? Actually, kind of nice. Showtime winning means that we are guaranteed 1 Protoss, 1 Terran, 1 Zerg in the round of 4. Winner of this will be the second of their race in the round of 4. The only potential for a mirror matchup, obviously, in the finals still, but pretty good chance of not seeing any mirrors today, which is pretty heckin' cool as well. In the bottom right corner, our blue Zerg player here, this is Solar. As on the top left, our red Protoss is Trap. Again, thank you for joining us, guys. Good to see you all on a beautiful Sunday of StarCraft 2. So glad to be here, bringing you guys some games. Super excited to have you guys some StarCraft 2 action again. If you're enjoying the stream, couple of quick little ways to support. First of all, you can follow the channel on Twitch or subscribe to the channel on YouTube. See when we're live again in the future. Especially on the YouTube, a lot of our live viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So if you are enjoying the games and the casting, we have plenty more coming your way. Do consider subscribing. It goes a long way and it really helps out. Obviously on YouTube as well. If you're down there hitting the sub button, give the video a little like as well. Helps out massively. And that, my friends, is the sellout for now. That's all we need for the moment. I'm not even going to tell you guys to spend money just yet. How about that? Just do the freebies. And obviously keep on watching. Juvia, thank you so much for the 54-month resub over on Twitch. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing great. Sub Hype. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. As we get a hatch in our pool coming online. Next in the Cybercore coming in. A drone chasing the probe. All well and good. So glad there's some good SC2 casts on a Sunday. Hell yeah. Don't worry, we're going to keep them up. Nana! Wardy tournament saved in StarCraft. Thank you for the 19 months in the Prime, mate. Appreciate it. I will have you guys some more, I'll have you some more StarCraft 2 to play in this week coming up. Don't worry. I'm just figuring out what to make. It's going to be a What tournament format would you like to play, Mana? If you would like to play a tournament this week, what format would you like to see? Go on, let's have a because Twitch chat couldn't come up with anything, so. Yo, Paul Wilson, thank you so much, 22-month resub as well. So we see our Stalker nibbling at the Overlord. Overlord taking some damage. A few shots going through. Link speed coming up. Pilot Council, a couple probes, and the Adept will continue and die. Get our Warp Gate coming up as well. Just a single Elim bracket. Like one big single elim bracket, or like just like 4 open cups? I kind of like the simplicity of just a bracket, to be honest. There's something nice about that we don't usually go for. Ling Speed's going to be finishing, and Ling's on the way, so Solo putting some pressure on. 24 drones, obviously, is 100% aiming for some damage. As that Resonating Glaives comes through, and obviously that means that it's not going to be ready just yet in this defense, but I think this is a very defendable situation. Dev going to shade backwards. We'll try and get another unit here. The wall-off's a little bit weird. I guess it's the issue for Trap, as he will be able to re-wall currently. That pylon is going to be the weak point. The pylon on the left side. We will finish Warp Gate, but we're going to lose the Cyber Core. That means now the gateways are going to be here, taking quite a lot of damage. No battery up is obviously a big issue. If you have a battery, this is never a problem, but obviously you're trying to be a little bit greedy. A couple more units warping in. It has to be Zealots because you have no Cyber Core currently. Trap looking to continue the walls at the moment, as we are going to see a breakthrough on the bottom side gateway. We get another wall up. Beautifully done by Trap. I mean, he loses a bunch of structures here. Probably good enough for Soul, in all honesty, without getting through and killing a bunch of probes. But, yeah, able to kind of get a last-second wall up. Good job by Trap. Kind of good crisis management. That's one of those moments which is actually pretty painful for Trap because, you know, no Cyber Core means he misses a bunch of Adept warp-ins for the Glaives. So it kind of nullifies the value there. And I wonder if Solo just does this because he sees the wall is kind of a little bit off in the first place. You know, a little bit more exposed. You know, structures have a little bit more surface area on them. Couple of Lings running over. Zealot, Stalker, Adept going to be there. And a couple of those Lings continue to get picked away at. Some more damage being done as our Stalker continues to go with a couple of Zealots and the Adept to chase those Lings away down the right-hand side. Prism will set up, but I can't imagine we're going to warp in with the Lings underneath, and we will not. That's going to be there. A couple of Lings going down. Roach is coming up. Lair on the way. Drones and Lings still producing. Well, Adept's going to be fighting. Zal's going to get there as well. Sentries. Couple of devs is going to continue to bow again. Lings and Roach is going to get there. One drone goes down already. Prism will play the evacuation game as every unit will count. But Tramp off of a weird start. Just trying to find something on this as he gets the Immortal up and running as well. Well, the Adepts is going to drop the Ling Roach from Solo. Going to settle in the main. A couple of Adepts going to go get jumped on. Observer coming up, extra gates coming by. Again, Zealot, Sentry, Immortals. Gonna start fighting a little bit. Immortals gonna have a force field dropped on them. Gets pushed to the side as well. Those few Lings take some more damage. Load up the 2 Adepts into the Prism again. The rest of the units come back along the left, and that's gonna be good enough to deny this Ling run by. 3 Lings actually gonna get in, which better than nothing, right? I mean, it's actually some potential. There's a Stalker in the main chasing an Overseer. Those Lings are super low. This should not be a difficult cleanup, but the fact it's something at all is kind of huge, I would say, for Solar. Clean that up. A couple of Adepts have been able to get some drone kills. However, Prism and Prism plus Spores plus Queens equals Dead Prism. It's a good equation on that one. Yeah. So unfortunately, Prism goes down. It doesn't look like Trap was looking for a bigger fight where you need the Prism or anything. Continue to push down this right-hand side. The few Lings get moved away as well. 1 Ling going down already. The army continues down to the bottom. Extra Lings, couple of Ravagers coming up. Lings trying to get into the natural as the probe will fall. Quick Corrosive Files going down. We are going to have our Ravagers getting kind of caught in the front. Good force fields, honestly, but we're going to have to recall back. We are right out in the middle of the map here. Solar takes advantage, diving up that ramp. Couple of Adepts in the background, going to get some drones. Well, not too many probes there, honestly. 3 drones go down, 4 probes. Solar attacking here, 51 drones only from him. Looking to attack. Remember, no battery overcharge. Gotta rely on your just unit defense and hope that's powerful enough. Remember, those Immortals fire a little bit more slowly right now as well, so Immortals do not get as many shots off against those Roaches. A bit clumped up, scared that those Immortals are going to take a beating on the Corrosive Vials. Corrosive Vials delete 1 Immortal. They get a good damage done on a second. No battery energy left over, so the 3rd Immortal goes down, and Solar is ripping through the natural and opening up this map right here. Trap's struggling on this patch in PvZ. I think Trap's struggling against Solar in general. I don't think this patch does him any favors, as I think a few of the things that Trap struggles with kind of when he plays against Solar definitely kind of become a lot worse with the changes, and that doesn't mean that necessarily it's not a you know, there's not other things that he could do. I think he's just struggling in kind of the, you know, this matchup is not already good for him, basically, right? And so if you take things away that kind of help you through a bad matchup, it can be difficult to kind of adjust, right? So, yeah. Well, Grand Finals we play today? Yes, everything gets played today. This whole playoffs going through. Yeah, Trap is, like I said, Trap has been a fantastic player. Has not been super consistent, but when he's good, he's really good. And I only say not super consistent. He's had some great results. He's been in the finals of a WardiTV event. He's taken maps off of some of the very best. But my goodness, he just can't seem to figure out Solar. And so you have a bad matchup plus changes. Yeah, I think it's just not a good matchup for Trap here in this round of 6 match. Not trying to... I do think Solar style gets buffed a little bit as well off the lack of battery overcharge and so on. As well. So, yeah, I think it's just a tough matchup for Trap through and through. As we get players into position, we should be able to kick off into this. Go ready, go ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 casters. Let's go Solar Trap game number 3. 2-0 lead right now on the side of Solar. Needs a mama ship. Yeah, maybe Trap should build a new mama ship. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's what he needs. Again, winner of this series will play CLEM in the semifinals, guys. That'll be our 4th series out of 5 today. This being series number 2. After this, Showtime versus Shin will be our first semifinal. Then we'll go into that CLEM versus the winner of this series semifinal. That is the way that today's games are looking. We have loads of great StarCraft 2 coming up, and it continues right here on El Dorado. In the bottom left corner of the map, the Zerg in the red, up 2-0 on his new team Falcons. It is Solar. In the bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Gen G, this is Trap. Alright, guys. Let's see what Game 3 gives us. As we get set up early. Probe moving through. Obviously, we'd like to scout. Not a super fast probe. Hatchery gets to go down on the natural without issue from Solus. That's already a benefit for our Zerg. It's a big plus for him. He'll be very happy with that, I imagine. You'll see the drone nibbling at the probe for a couple of moments. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Yeah, Solar's contract with was it Vitality? Yeah, Vitality and Onside. It was Onside then Vitality. Came to a close. And now on Falcons. He did when he left. Right, when he originally left Vitality, he did say he was already just looking for a team and people could contact him, so it didn't seem like he had a team lined up. As that drone just chases the probe around for a few moments. Couple queens, few lings, next in the cybercore, all coming up as well. You got a lot of that coming through. Sort of with the raid. Hello and welcome everybody. We're in Series 2 out of 5 today in our playoffs of this WardiTV patch event. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Good to see you all. Excited for more. Probably comes back over to the right. And that link speed coming through. A few drones coming about. Twilight counts on the way in as the Stalker will hit the Ling a couple times. Man, I've been kind of casting hard the first couple games. I'm like kind of desperate for a drink right now, and I didn't bring a drink up with me. That was stupid. Yeah, I mean, that first series especially, though, especially that final game between Showtime and Bjorn was super awesome. If you just tuned in, you missed a banger of a game 5 between Showtime and Bjorn on this map. 25 minutes of mayhem. That was some beautiful stuff. It was very fun. Well, Link just going to continue across. Warp Gate will finish. The Dark Shrine halfway done. Again, Lair and Roach Roaring building up on the side of Solar. A few extra drones and the Overlord coming through. The Dark Shrine over halfway done as well. Look at that from Trap. Going to take the third on the bottom side of the map here, although didn't manage to mine out the minerals just yet, so that's going to be slightly delayed maybe. Obviously, the DT play. Next coming up, a few Roaches coming about, Roach Speed coming in. Ourselves a couple DTs warping as well. Again, that Nexus gets going. This is actually a very interesting DT play because this is not a prism with those DTs. It's just two DTs walking across the map right now. And that blink coming up, prism coming by, Nexus about halfway done. Still got that Roach Speed building as well. More Roaches coming over. There's the DT. Just going to wander in. Spore not ready there, but the Overseer is, and so this gets shut down. 2 drones only going down on the third. Depth's just going to shade out. Still got the DT building, the Immortal and Blink continuing through. Roach Speed and Roaches all coming in as the extra gateways build up on the side of Trap as well, so we continue that through for the moment. And Archon and Immortal continue to come about. Depth's going to set up here as well. Depth's is going to go after a couple of those drones, so I'm going to try and get a little bit of something done for now. Roaches continue to the far right-hand side. It's going to be seeing the batteries coming in, the extra gates coming through. Mortal and Sentries gathering as the Roach is going to go running up in toward the natural. Archon's going to start dropping. I mean, this is honestly such a weird way of doing this. Like I said, the 2 DTs walking across the map, Prism not being there to kind of just get multiple DTs at start. It's kind of been a weird one. A couple of drones going to mine through some mineral patches. Roach is going to try and go up that ramp, but not really going to find any opportunity there. The rest of those Roaches are going to step up. There's Pylon taking some damage. The Blink coming through. Oh, we're actually going to see Burrowed Roaches the choice from Solo, so he's going to be trying to harass all around the map. He feels like that's just one of his better options on a map that is otherwise pretty defendable with the way the map is setting. And Burrow coming through, +1 missiles, tunneling claws, Roaches on the way. He's going to get to the center and take the watchtower once the Changeling goes down. Still going to take a forward base for his 4th. It's kind of interesting. Again, just going to get Burrow and +1 missiles coming by for the moment. The Prism gets into the main base as well. DT swipes and a few drones keep going down. Stalker's going to get there. Overseer will fall. Still going to get supply blocked on the back of that. That Roach Ravager still coming through from the left-hand side. Young Hallucination going to be there. The Prism moving up. Stalkers and Sentry stepping forward as well. Prism, what we're going to do, a couple of force fields dropping down. Going to crack open those. As the rest of the Stalkers coming forward as well. Extra Stalkers coming through. You are going to see the Archon taking a few more hits. Roach is going to slip by though. That's the power of that Tunneling Claws. Stalkers and Immortals still stepping up. A lot of those Roaches are going to take a lot of damage. Throws the files. Van Solar is going to lose the base, but he is going to start pushing back. I mean, he kills a lot of units here. That Immortal save. Nice Prism Micro at least. Well, Stalker's going to hit. Those Roaches taking damage. 27 probes going down as the DT continues to swipe on through the Roaches. 31 probes is brutal. I mean, Trap's attack could have done well, but obviously losing so many workers back at home. This matchup is seemingly coming to a close. That +2 missiles continues up. The Roaches and Queen. Yeah, I mean, this game is just done. The series was not it at all, unfortunately for Trap. And this one is going to go the way of Solar. 3-0, convincing round of 6 from Solar. First debut for his new team, and boom, he looks amazing. Just like that. Alright, guys. So, we're going to take a couple of moments here. I need to go get myself a drink at the very least. So, we're going to go into Showtime versus Shin. We're going to get that ready to rumble. Perfect. Alright, guys. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I'm going to go fill up my drink and get us ready for this Showtime Shin series. Hoping for a bit more of a competitive PvZ. They played such a good series, Showtime Shin, by the way, when they played the eSports World Cup Last Chance qualifier. Man, that series was like an epic best of 7. Both those players went. Honestly, should have had more of an opportunity at the event. They've played once since then. Shin won in WardiTV Mondays number 3, so a couple months back. Shin generally gets the better of Showtime, but Showtime plays well lately, so we'll see. I'll be right back, guys. BRB screen coming up for just a minute while I go get a drink. We'll come right back to it. Welcome back, guys. As we get our first map hosted here in a second. It's gonna be El Dorado. Perfect. Alright. Give us a moment, guys. Get this sorted out. Just get everyone into the lobby. We have more StarCraft 2 coming up. El Dorado going to be our map. As we get this ready to rumble. Thank you so much for joining us. As it is going to be Showtime versus Shin. Not much of a break for Showtime. That Solar Trap series was pretty quickly done. Here in the semifinals now, Shin, Showtime, and then CLEM versus Solar are going to be our two next matches. And then the grand finals. I'm kind of cheering on Showtime. If Showtime wins this, no mirror matchup in the finals, no matter what else happens. So, yeah, I think that's very exciting. Showtime's ready. We can go into this. Hey, casters, Zerg versus Protoss. Let's jump on into game number 1 of our first semi-final today. Alright, let's get this going. El Dorado. As we have in the top the bottom left corner of the map, our blue Zerg player to open this series off, it is Shin. In the bottom right, our red Protoss player is Showtime. I'm excited for this one. I think this should be a really fun series. Shin has been so good lately, last month or two. And so is Showtime. Two players who are really kind of playing at their peak performance at the moment, so let's see what they've got to bring us on the beautiful patch. El Dorado going to be our map to start off this semi-final matchup. Again, CLEM versus Solar coming up after this as well, so we'll get into that. And we'll just have our Nexus and our Gateway coming through. Get ready to go. Gonna see the probe coming out across the map. Moving across for the moment. Probe moving around, just gonna be seeing the next coming up. First few moments of the PVZ looking very chill. Excited to see what sort of stuff we're going to do in terms of what Showtime gets up to. That Stargate coming up, for example. Speed coming through, the Stargate on the way. Seeing a couple links coming by. Deb can chase forward. Oracle will come up. The Adept just going to shade into the natural. Warp Gate continues through. Link speed coming in. Again, Queen, Lings, drones continue to come about. Warp Gate and the Oracle still producing. We have this third hatchery coming down here. Shin decides to go to the bottom portion of the map to get us started off on that. So the Lings and Queens coming through. Again, just gonna sell us down into the gateway. So we get that up and running. Couple spores coming over. Our hatch and our overlords coming about as the queen continues up as well. Ain't gonna hit. The Oracle will be taking some shots. Gets turned back around through the bottom side. We'll push to the middle. Again, a couple queens still on the way up. The extra Lings are all building. A couple drones coming through too. Our Nexus and our probes and our gateway continue to come about as the Oracles get set through the bottom. The Lings will go across to the far right-hand side. We're going to shoot. The Oracles activating for a couple of drones. 2 drones going down immediately. Oracles get pushed all the way to the south again. More Lings coming about again, just the extra Adepts and the Zal getting joined up. Twilight Council, Forge, and Robo coming through. The Nexus and some probes on the way. The Oracle's still chilling as well. Oracle's chilling. Drone is going to sit there. A couple of units is going to go down. A couple of drones falling. The first Oracle goes down already. And charging +1 coming over. As we see Showtime getting established on the back of this Stargate play. Just the one Oracle. It's becoming very popular. One Oracle and just kind of playing with that energy overcharge. Oh, 2 Oracles, sorry, and he lost 1. But the lack of 3 Oracle is the main thing I'm getting at, which it seems like that is just becoming less of a factor. You have the Lings going to run up, and the Adepts are going to be ready to fight. The couple of probes are going to be there as well. Oracle activating, a couple of Lings getting pushed. Again, Temple Archives charge, +1 and Prism. Continue to come through. And that lab building, drones coming up, +1 missiles coming up as well. Things keep on moving over. I'm just going to run straight into this mineral line battery. And he gets surrounded. The rest of the Lings coming back through again. +1 attack and charge coming in. 10 more roaches. Hydrogen coming in. +1 missiles and roach speed coming up. The Archon's going to go through the bottom side. Couple Lings is going to get knocked down. Just going to be seeing the Archons lifting back through. Lings getting picked. Salts and Archons just going to fight through. The Roach is going to get chased. Going to push all the way over that left-hand side, getting onto the gold. Stasis Ward coming up. Big push from Showtime here to put some pressure on. Of course, Stasis Ward, nice addition. Just going to be seeing the one Roach getting caught. Extra Zelds coming through. With the units coming back over. Need to push up. Zelds and the rest coming over as well. Continue to fight. I mean, this is Showtime really committing to this attack. I mean, he's gotten himself 8 drones so far. He will get the Archons out alive. The Oracle gets pulled away. Still got that +1 missiles finishing up from Shin as the Overlord speed. 11 additional drones coming through. Yeah, and +2 missiles coming up. Still got that Overlord speed building. Extra Lings coming back around again. +2 missiles. Muskogman's coming up. Infestation Pit's halfway done. 4 additional Hydras. Couple of Queens. All of that's still being brought into play as well. Spore Crawler continues into play. Overseer gets chased around the side. Stalker going to be there to chase that Overseer out also. Roach Hydra's going to come over. A couple of Zealots going to go down. Who's going to be there? Prism falls. So that's actually a nice catch straight away. Takes a lot of the micro potential out as Showtime's army just pushes forward. There's gold base on the bottom from Shin. Fun expansion pattern that he set up as the Zealots. Going to go onto the Roach Roaring as well. We start to see the drones taking some damage. And +2 missiles coming up. The Hydra coming through. Seeing the rest of the units continue to fight again. The Roach Hydra continue to come over. Queens as well. So we'll be seeing the couple force fields coming down the bottom side. We'll be seeing the Immortals continue to fight. Archon still shooting away. Good force fields keeping this army back. There's only a single Ravager, which means you're really missing the ability to kind of knock down force fields at the moment. Showtime warps in 5 more High Templar. We'll get more Archons in play. There's a massive Archons coming through, but how do you get them all in the fight as well? Mortal still shooting. Hatchery will go down. Queen stepping up. The Archon still getting down the bottom side here. This army of Showtime is going to start backing it up. A few Lings begin to go down. Obviously, a fall of the Roaches and the Hydras trying to fight. I mean, they have a good concave, and I think a lot of these units from Shin can just hit more reliably than those Archons of Showtime. Showtime still holds out against a few more Zealots to kind of back this up as well. This consistent push through the center continuing right now. It's just a few Overlords there as Showtime takes a 4th base below it. So they're expanding toward each other. Showtime says, I want to expand towards this gold of yours, and can use that momentum to obviously knock that gold down would be a big win. I don't think I mean, this is basically just Hydras running up here. We're getting the dash upgrade. Oh yes, the dash upgrade's coming through. Love to see that. Would be excited to see it being used a little bit here. Shin was trying to use it a little bit the other day as well. Man, interesting game because it's just going completely through the bottom. We've not really seen a game like this on El Dorado just yet. Some more shots coming through, a couple corrosive vials coming down. Mortals getting hit. Hydras, Ravagers continuing to get chased away. Mortals continue to shoot. Units still going down. Extra Archons and Immortals still building. So it's producing through as well. A couple more force field. Showtime on a defense right now, but I think this is getting better for him as time goes on. Those Hydras have the dash or the frenzy right now. Good force field. Doesn't matter how quickly you dash, you can't run through force fields. That'd be pretty cool. What if Hydras could run through force fields if they were dashing? Probably not good. And Mortals continue to push toward the bottom side. A couple of drones mining away on the gold base. Hydras, Roaches continuing through. And just seeing the extra couple of drones going down. Oh, there's the dash. He tries to dash for the prism. Doesn't quite get there. Nice attempt, though, from Shin. Cool little use of the new ability. As supplies have evened up, Showtime's army has just continued to trade way too well for Shin in this game. Resources lost is in Showtime's favor. He knocks down this gold, obviously holding his own 4 bases during this. +3 missiles coming up. Storm building from Showtime. I like that. I think that's one of the things that is a very obvious kind of progression of his army composition at the moment. So I like to see that as the Lurky Den comes up, finishing very soon. Man, I cannot wait for them to rename Dash to something like something ridiculous, like something that rolls off the tongue, like all of the Zerg upgrades, like Centrifugal Hooks and Glal Reconstitution, and so on. So that when casters are casting the game, I cannot wait them to be like, oh yes, the Hydras use muscular augmentation to chase after the prism, because we all know fine well us casters are going to say, oh, he dashes for the prism, and then we're all going to be like, well, maybe we should have just called it dash. Kind of like how we all call it roach speed, you know? Immortals, Zealots, High Templars pressing forward. I'm just going to have ourselves the couple drones going down. Hatchery going to be in some trouble. The fact we've got Lurkers is obviously a big plus. We're just going to leave these Immortals to do their thing. They're going to knock this base down. I mean, it's going to get to a point soon where Showtime doesn't even want to attack through the bottom side of the map yet. Or any further. Lurker gets there. The Zealot goes down. Going to get back in. Some Zealots come in from the right side. Hatchery takes some damage. Obviously, this base going down. Good to know. Showtime getting rid of some of that eco potential. It's just the Lurkers. This map is so claustrophobic, I think is a great way to say it, because actually it feels like constantly we're seeing players unable to really get forward easily. It's so choky. As well, we dash out the storm. The Zerg player used the Hydras correctly. As we're going to come back through. High Templars in the front need to get some more storms about. Obviously now dash on cooldown. As we see the Hydras getting chased away. +3 missiles coming up. The Adaptive Talons coming through. Fleet Beacon and Stargate still coming online as well. That actually was a good dash, right? That genuinely saved him from some storm damage there. It looks a bit silly, man. The Hydras are so fast when they move. It really is a dash. It's almost like a teleport. But yeah, that actually was a good dash. As we are going to be seeing Zealots diving in here. There is a lurker, and the Hydra's going to be there too. Showtime's still going to get himself a good few drones, plus a queen. And this is honestly going to take Hydra attention to the north side, while he's pushing in on the bottom side, so the last Zealot will go down. Showtime didn't get as many lurkers here as I thought. I think he's missing detection, isn't he? He's got one Oracle that has not revelated those units, and he's got one Observer that is also in there. So he does have the detection, but maybe not quite reliably where it wants to be. Got his Zealots up at the top. That Hydra planes the units. Oh, we dash forward to kill the Prism. Dash is becoming a great ability, guys. Shin actually getting some time to practice it. He's been reliably trying to go into dash as we see the new Mothership on the way. Okay, Mothership building. Tempest reducing. Mothership no longer abductable. Basically the best unit in the game at this point. Actually seen an unabductable Mothership. Isn't that crazy? I saw even Grubby tweeting about the fact that this change is 10 years too late. I love it. I think that's kind of wild. Force fields going down. Roaches and Ravagers getting hit. Hydras taking shots. You're going to see the rest of the Hydras going after the Nexus. That's a kill. A couple of Zealots going forward. Immortals there as well. But the Storm Lurker's going to get shot at. Storm continues. Hydra's still taking a bunch of damage. High Templar's getting whacked. Those Lurkers are doing mega damage. Shin going to win the fight in the top right. That's going to be huge as we see the rest of the Hydras coming across. 10 more Hydras building. Spire on the way up. And +1 flyer attack upgrade coming through. Or +1 air weapons. The Tempest coming up as well. Shields coming through. Mothership still producing. Oh man, Shin is staying in this game. Now, I still love Showtime's position. I mean, the fact he's made his way to Tempest and he's made his way to that Mothership, I think, is absolutely the right idea. So I think his army comp is great. Obviously, that's where the Corruptors come into play, and then we just got to figure out dealing with the Corruptors, but that should be possible. Again, a little Hydra dash to back away there. Liking that a lot. There's a couple of Overseers just going to wander forward. They're going to be in the wrong place at the very wrong time. So I was trying to run top left, aim for that base. A couple of changes up to the top right as Showtime gets set up over there on the new Nexus, trying to keep that one alive and online for a little bit. I just get through the Zealots full. Lurkers are going to pop back up. That is going to be Hydra Lurker pulling back around the top. Hi, Ice of Nightmare, my friend. How you doing? Thank you so much for the 74-month resub. See you at Home Story. Hell yeah, man. See you there. Xanitis will finish up very soon. Currently about halfway done. Couple of shots. Hydra's going down. Spores going down. Dash forward just a little. Storm. Lurkers. Hydra's taking hits. Going to be a cancel. Cannon also dropping. Another Storm goes in. Hydra's getting hit again. Damage just keeps on coming. Showtime trying to press forward through the bottom side of the map. This map is, you know what? This map keeps giving us long games, which I like. And I don't think they're boring long games either. The map feels very engageable because the bases kind of go towards each other. But because it's so narrow, it makes it awkward fights. Been a fascinating map so far today. And throughout the tournament, we've not really seen it much. So seeing it here has definitely been fun. As unburrowed Lurkers, they're getting jumped on. Do we have detection now? They're burrowed up. Yes, we do. Observer overhead. Lurkers everywhere, though, and so Showtime does not have enough to fight all of that. And then get to the high ground. That's going to be probes going down for Showtime. He's still pushing through the bottom. Time Warp goes down as we do see the Tempest, and honestly, not really many Archons to help fight off those Corruptors. That's the issue. We actually don't have a great response to Corruptors right now. We have a bunch of units now up to the top. Instead, we're going to charge into this and look to break this position. Storm, as we actually end up storming the Protoss units more than the Zerg. The Hydras dash away. Archon's chasing. Hydra's getting chased. Another couple storms on those Lurkers. Shin is going to be able to hold his ground a little bit here. Oh, we blocked 2 of the Lurkers from getting back in the Nidus. The Nidus evacuation goes off. My goodness, another Nidus top right-hand side. Oracle finishing, +2 shields finishing, tectonic destabilizers finishing. As 5 Lurkers, 10 Hydras continue up. Try that Nidus once again. Back through the middle, taking the watchtower. 10 Hydras, 10 Lurkers continue to come by. Lurker shots going through. Mortal's taking hits once again. We are going to be seeing the Lurkers able to hold ground for a little bit. To the top side, the Storm coming out, hitting the Hydras, hitting the Lurkers, pushing back. Dive in again. Lurker's going to be chased. One Lurker goes down. Hydra still chased. Showtime winning this fight now as he pushes away to the top side. Extra round of Zealots as well. It's the Lurkers that are just holding so many good positions. And it goes a Tempest. Flying's firing away. Zell's going to keep charging forward. This is a big position. This is a big play from Showtime. There's not a lot to stop him from going, and so the Zealots are going huge. Finally, some Lurkers start to burrow up. That should help a lot, but we're going to kill maybe the base on top of just a lot of drones. Nidus on the other side is an evacuation Nidus. Units get away. They're going to pull back over here. Can we finish off the base as Showtime? He's going to step away because of the Lurkers. I don't mind that, though. Keeping units alive after killing so many drones is absolutely fine. That is going to work. That is going to be okay for now. Units keep on gathering up. Just going to be seen at +2 melee. Extra Hydras continuing to come in. Again, that shield upgrade coming through. +3 air weapons coming up. Blink building as well. A couple Zealots around the top side. The Spine Crawler is going to go pew pew pow pow. I'm just going to have the rest of this army from Showtime back around in the center. Lings going to come across. Corruptors gathered up as well. Tempest, Oracle, Blink +3. And the production tab from Showtime is beautiful, isn't it? Look at it go. It's just got so much on his side. Got the Grey Spy coming up. The Zealot's going to go charging into this hatchery. The hatchery's going to get jumped on. So that will go down. Bigger fight up over here. A lot of Corruptors getting involved. I mean, the fact there's a Grey Spy is amazing because we absolutely need Broodlords. Otherwise, these are just dead, weight units. Grey Spy is not done yet. I actually thought it was because I saw it and then I realized I just saw it like 20 seconds ago, not 2 minutes ago. Now, this is actually a problem. So much supply. I mean, we're talking about 22 Corruptors, not an air unit in sight. Like, that is amazing once the Broodlords come out, but until the Broodlords come out, can we hold on? Can the defensive capability of these Lurkers hold through? Showtime should push this base right now. Because also, if he denies these mining bases, there's not going to be that many Broodlords that can be made, so then it's not going to matter too much anyway. Queen's going down. We storm the mineral lines to get rid of the drones a little faster. We've got plenty of storm energy, so why the hell not? And Shin's actually not even going to try and make Broodlords. He's going to type GG as Showtime takes a 23-minute game number 1 on El Dorado, opening this series with a 1-game victory, or 1-game lead. Beautiful stuff from Showtime, opening strongly in this best of 5, heading to the second map in a couple of moments. Going to go to ley lines for our second map here. Get this set up. That was Shin's server preference as well, so we head into a game 2 and kick this off. And get ready to go, go, go. Alright, players are ready. And we're going to have Lambo joining us for the rest of the games. Awesome. Yo.
Hello?
Yo, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. A lot of fun games that I watched on your channel, and I figured might as well cast some of them because they're really, really cool.
Yeah, we're having some fun ones, especially today. Showtime is giving us a good time.
Yep.
All right, nice. How are you liking the patch / direction of the patch? I'll just open with the big question.
I do like some things. I dislike some other things. I don't want to get too big into the nitty gritty of it, but I didn't play enough yet that my position is fortified, and I won't change it. So that's why I'm trying to watch as many of the new patch games as possible. I haven't played as much yet since I'm on a bit of a break since there's not too many big tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not too sure yet. I am open to seeing how it plays out.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fair assessment right now. Top right, we do have Shin, and bottom left, Showtime, as we get into a second game of this PVZ series. Seen a pretty... I know you just watched that last game, so a couple quick thoughts on that. Like, a lot of just kind of big techie units from Showtime. Did you think anything you would have liked to see Shin kind of go for with Showtime playing that?
It was very interesting. I really liked Shin's approach to begin with because that map, it offers you 2 gold bases at the bottom. Like the first time I played it, that's exactly what I tried to do as well. And he tries to do it with like a very offensive unit composition where you're supposed to win fights, but because of how choky it was and because of the tech that Showtime went for, like with the sentries, it was so hard for him to engage there. So I think a lot of that came down to the map. In the late game, I definitely think he needed a greater spire a little bit earlier. I just think some of his run-bys, they traded too poorly, so he was a little bit too poor himself towards the end of that game.
Yeah, he had a couple moments here and there where it was successful on those attacks, and he denied the base top right a few times, but felt like he was quite consistently just losing units, like you say. And it's not like Showtime was without doing damage himself. He was also poking away at that economy throughout, so really left at a bit of a tough spot for Shin, who, eventually kind of bled out the game. Greater Spy a bit sooner. Maybe Brood Lords could have had an impact or so. Could have been pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I love the way he's playing though, like with the Hydra dash, constantly trying to do it. I mean, we played Hydra Lurker beforehand, but he's way more Hydra heavy than we usually are, and he transitions a little bit later into the following up stage. So he really tries to test the unit's potential, which I love to see.
Have you been following Shin just in general over the last month or so? Because he's playing really well. Like he's really finding results. As like one of the few Zerg players that's playing a lot at the moment. Have you like followed his progress? Because it feels like he's really stepped up recently.
I follow him. Yeah, I think already leading up to EWC, he has become really good. Also in more of the macro games, which I think he was lacking a bit beforehand. So I think leading up to EWC was where most of that progress started happening, and I already follow him and watch pretty much all of his games because he just comes up with the new cool strategies that I can also adapt and maybe surprise some opponents with. And I like that, Shin plays his own stuff, so that's why I'm following to begin with. But yeah, I think he's the Zerg that practices the most at the moment, and he's very strong.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see him just kind of develop from that guy who's like, he's in everything, but like, he does okay. Whereas now it's like, every time he's in something, like, he's a real contender to go all the way. It's been great to watch that. As a couple of adepts here will try and get through. The creep tumor will go down. And we have the couple of adepts going to threaten the shade, but plenty of lings plus a queen means that we will not commit. The adepts just going to hang back. First Oracle on the way up from Showtime. I've been seeing us obviously go into a lot less Oracles, that energy overcharge, allowing you to just have more energy available anyways. Do you think we're going to see like less Oracles overall? Do you think there's anything Zergs can do to kind of abuse that?
It's funny because I would think that Oracle now is a necessity because you don't have the overcharge to defend your third base anymore, and you need the 2 Oracles to one-shot drones on the other side. So I would think that you need an Oracle on your own side. You can always micro-back the Oracle with little energy, right, to come to your side, and then you can energy overcharge against Ling run base.
Yeah.
So I would have thought personally that it will go into more 3 Oracles.
Okay.
Still with obviously 2 Oracles and 1 Oracles being the more aggressive build orders where you try to hit a quick Twilight follow-up. But I think it might be more necessary in order to hold anything because of the stasis wards against the big roach timings that you can spam now and the general constant uptime on the attack against Zerglings.
Yeah, definitely like the positioning of the the third Oracle, having one at home and all of that definitely is still a factor. We do see triple Oracle here from Showtime, so he will dive into it. This is honestly like one of the first times I've seen 3 Oracle like all week in these patch games, so It just really felt like everyone's been maybe just excited to try out the timings, right? Where you can go one Oracle, get a bunch of energy on it and succeed, and then just really quickly hit the Twilight and stuff. So
Yeah.
just a lot of testing on that, I suppose, as our Twilight and Forge does come up here. So this is really kind of just standard bread and butter build order from Showtime for the most part. These Adepts and Oracles will combine to clean up some creep potentially and just try and trade in these early stages.
Yeah, so very commonly you have two oracles with the adepts, as the adepts now shade in and actually commit in. But the two oracles are kind of good enough against the links, and then you have one oracle harassing somewhere else. I think that is weaker now because of the spore crawler. It's very hard to dive anything with one oracle. So most of the damage that you're gonna find is gonna be in between mineral lines now, so drones are transferring. But Showtime didn't find any of that, and now his oracles are out of position, and he doesn't even have a battery here. I think if he had a battery, even without an overcharge, he would probably just straight up win that fight, but without one, he's losing some probes and a lot of units.
Yeah, 2 good probes going down. We have a couple of probes survive low HP, and obviously as well, you mentioned a couple of units, right? Adepts are dead, a Stalker is down, so Shin is able to trade Lings for some of the kind of basic units there from Showtime. Adepts aren't the most necessary to keep alive, but they're a nice little addition defensively. Sometimes later you can just give them away and shade into a mineral line for a few drones as well, so Shin gets something done, forces the Oracles back home. These Oracles are so full of energy. Gonna get back out on the map and still hunt for damage as Shin moves into missiles and Hydra dens. So gonna once again hit those Hydras pretty early here in the mid game.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it feels very oftentimes necessary to have some form of mobile anti-air now that the oracles always are so high on energy. So that like a Ravagerling Bane starts, I think, are gonna be much less common now. That there can be a ton of stasis wards, but also just a constant damage from the oracles. You just can't move across the map, and if you do, you need either queens with them or hydras. Or even mutas in some cases. I think we can also see a little bit. Interestingly enough, Showtime is going for Blink himself. Probably, I'd assume, into Storm. Yeah, there is the Templar Archives. So that's pretty much the standard from the previous patch. So we'll see how that fares up against the Hydras.
Yep, just gonna look very normal, and then, like you say, I mean, from Shin, just gonna go very Hydra heavy most likely, and of course try and maybe reach that dash at some point later in the game as well, because that is, I believe, hidden off on the Hive as well, so you need Hive before you can dash around, which seems cool. Kind of gives Hydras a bit more of that kind of later game ability, as right now it's a lot of Hydras building, but Stalker's already here poking, looking to utilize the Blink and having those stasis wards setting up behind this. We're going to start trading for some Hydras, and those are expensive units, and obviously without the Lings in front of them, they just do die very quickly, and Showtime gets some great value so far.
Yeah, really nice focus fire there. If you don't focus fire against the Hydras, that's where they can shine against the Blink Stalkers, but if you do step forward, that most of the Stalkers can actually attack, you can just pick off the Hydras one by one while blinking back. It's always going to be super cost effective for the Protoss, so well micro there. You can see these Oracles still have quite a bit of energy left over, so there's just going to be stasis wards everywhere, which is very annoying to clean up.
Yeah, just stasis wards all over the place. That one Oracle takes a few shots as Stalkers. It's going to be able to blink away from those Lings that were trying to surround. Showtime gets out. On his way to the Storm, it's going to be huge against Hydra heavy forces. Will help against the Lings that are trying to get in front as well. Shin, 71 drones, and is kind of coming across the map a little bit, so looking to get a little feisty here. Has the Infestation Pit coming up behind this, but 100% would like to do something right now, and he's got about 20 seconds before Storm, so maybe an opening. Lots of stasis wards coming down, knowing that they are going to be big defensively, and there's the first one already landing. Second one goes off on just a few Lings as well, but you're still taking some of the buffer out of this, and funneling units through that other stasis ward is going to slow Shin down a lot, giving Showtime a chance to get some extra static defense online, and more importantly, the Storm upgrade to finish, and now we have Storm available to land on Hydras and all sorts, and we actually get another stasis, man. The amount of stasis wards is kind of insane that you can get to now with these Oracles.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Do you remember the Fist of Neep at BlizzCon?
Yeah, like the
Back
actual
then,
200 supply army and stuff.
Yeah. The way this happened, and he did this every single game, like this was the complete standard, is they just played Oracle Stalker and they massed stasis wards, and we just couldn't attack into the Stalkers. Because if you send a couple of units forward, they just die to the Stalkers. If you send too many units forward, they all get caught by the stasis, and it's always a negative trade. So Neep would always reach the late game by making like 6 Oracles and mass Stalkers. And you can see how well it works defensively. Like those trades were fantastic for Showtime. The one stasis on the Zerglings in particular that acted as a force field for the rest of Shin's army, it just made it so hard for him to bully his way up his ramp, as he now does end up getting the fort base, but this was a very committed attack. Shin was on a very low worker count, and Showtime's army right now is looking way better than Shin's.
Yep, quality is absolutely there. The Storm is available. Stalker's pretty good unit still with that Blink, starting to power into Immortals as well, so has even more tech coming up behind this. And Shin is going to have that Lurker Den complete at least, so can start up his seismic spines, start to move in towards units, which he probably needs to help them stay in this game, because like you say, Showtime's army is currently looking a lot better. Lurkers at the very least could slow Showtime down and give you a bit of a chance of Shin to kind of set up otherwise, but it's not like Showtime's slowing down either. Again, building those Immortals, maybe a second Robo would be nice right now, just kind of increase that number a little bit more speedily.
Yeah, for sure. I think he either wants a second Robo or he wants a Fleet Beacon. Like, if he knew there were Lurkers on the field, he would definitely go for it, but I think it's very uncommon that a Zerg attacks this aggressively and then has Lurkers behind him in Europe. I know Rogue likes to play like that, but in Europe, either we go all in, like we go for a Roach Hydra all in and then we have no plan B, or we go for Lurkers, but then we don't attack because then we don't have the maximum amount of units possible, right? So Shin went for kind of an in-between, so I think these Lurkers are a bit of a surprise for Showtime, and
yeah,
I would think that he's gonna start a Fleet Beacon pretty soon, or a second Robo at least.
I just saw those Lurkers immediately backs away when he starts coming under fire. Had a good protection again on his High Templars before as well, as the Lingers try to jump on them. And yeah, there's the Fleet Beacon and another Stargate. So Showtime can just take this as a moment though to be like, okay, I control the map. It's not going to be super easy for you to move forwards with these Lurkers. So if I just buy myself a little bit of time, there's definitely a lot I can you know, kind of do there. And that seems to be the process he's going through for the moment.
Yeah, I love that. It's very important that he is splitting up his army, which makes it even harder for Shin to move out. And then if he moves out, he also needs to have enough units at home. Shin is doing the one trick that enables him to actually get across the map, which is a Nidus Swarm. He tries to get up the Nidus behind Showtime's main base, and at the same time he's engaging. That is to distract Showtime, so he doesn't look at the minimap, so he doesn't respond. He does have recall, he also has gateways where he could warp in with, but he's just not looking.
Yeah, he just doesn't know. Here's the Nidus now. Lurkers pop out. Pretty good position. All the production is here. The Fleet Beacon and second Stargate are here as well. Actually, the first Stargate as well. So a lot of his ancestors, Lurkers, are basically in this main base, which is going to be completely overrun. And now Showtime probably has one choice, and that's just to commit to a base trade. But he's going to lose his production extremely quickly, and that's definitely not going to favor him. As he starts to press in, Shin's Nidus is going to be massive. And yeah, Showtime will do very well across the map, but taking mega damage at home as all of his production goes down.
Yeah, and we have to remember that Shin at any moment in time he can go back, but he needs to do it pretty soon, as I now see that the Nidus Swarm is right in front of Showtime's army. I don't think Showtime quite realized that either, as he's now taking a fight against this is not enough units.
No.
Shin, he needs more. He needs to come back with more units.
Yeah, Showtime
I guess he just commits him on the other side.
Yep, looks like, I mean, he's going to be fully committed too, because as Nidus is going to go down for now, so everything will be committed there for a little bit. As we try and get down the ramp, as Storm is going to try and hold those units up there. I mean, this is the issue with the Nidus. There's no other Niduses, so the Lurk is going to hit the high ground to the third. So that's kind of about it. As Showtime goes into another Templar Archives, the drones pulling forwards on the defense. As Showtime's Archon's trying to put in some work. These last few Hydras are going to go down, but is it enough? That Archon super low should probably fall. It will go down. A few more Lings spawning. Shin starting to look as though he's got enough to defend at home. Showtime has a lot of units that just can't really come into play very easily because he's, you know, his bases are being sieged and all sorts. Kind of a wild little situation we have breaking through is, yeah, Showtime is holding on, but is not in a pretty spot.
Yeah, it's the production really that is lacking. He has so many minerals and so much gas to work with, but he just can't spend it. He has been completely reset. The only thing that he has going for him is that he does have the Templar Archives rebuilt at his third base. But that's about it. He can't produce Immortals right now. He obviously can't produce any Tempest or anything like that, so... and even just now he got an unsupply block because he lost the units at the front. The new gateways are coming online, but it's gonna be rough because right now Shin actually has a much better army, so I think what's gonna happen very soon is that Shin realizes, okay, he can't really produce units. I'm gonna start moving out with the stuff that I have at home. And then Showtime will have to hold on multiple sides.
Couple of Lurkers getting shots off. The High Templars take damage. I mean, you can try and push back against this pressure as much as you like, but the units are just in good position straight up, and Showtime spending some of his money on stacked defense on this bottom right base now, which is exactly what Shin looks as though he was going to try and get across the map to make something of. As 6 more High Templars coming from Showtime, so just trying to spend that money, but there's, like you say, so much of it. You're missing so many production cycles before now. There's definitely reasons why this has gone very badly wrong, as we're going to try and get across to deal with these Hydras. But that's going to be a lot of units. I mean, we do have some Zealots. There's only a couple of Lurkers here. Yeah, Showtime's on his way, just maybe not soon enough to save this base, and it feels like he at the very least needs this base to mine from with everything else that's gone down.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he has the competitive army anymore against what Shin has to offer. He even remade the Nidus, so now he can also get the units from Showtime's main towards the front.
Yep.
And Showtime is still with 1.8k minerals in the bank. Now finally he managed to spend most of his gas since he just warped in 4 new Archons. But I'm not sure that that's good enough.
No, especially, I mean, you think, like, Robo Facilities and Immortals might have been the real savior of him eventually, as if you clean up one more lurker in this space, he'll get rid of the Nidus from his main. There's one lurker in the corner, I'm not sure if he knows about it, but any which way, he plays cleanup. His army supply is close, it's just, like you say, quality of it. The Archons are nice, but it's kind of the Archon Immortal combination, having a bit of both. And he only really has Archons. Like, Immortal count is going to slowly build back up here with that one Robo producing, and he does have the gates online, so money is being spent. He's going to need an excellent fight. A couple of Immortals here, and they're going to try and go for it. Probably just commits to this as Shin realizes that it's time for him to step away, and he's just going to evacuate with the Nidus, so beautiful play in that regard.
Yeah, 100%. I love that he recognized that this could be an issue, and the Nidus, before Showtime even, decided to run into it, so the Nidus was done by the time that Showtime figured it's time for me to go. Showtime on what is practically 2 mining bases right now with 35 workers, supply blocked at 122 supply. We'll have to decide if maybe now is his best chance to finish this game, because he's just getting so severely outmined that I don't think the situation is getting much better. You have either the choice of you're gonna go now, because every following second is gonna be a bad one for Showtime, or you're gonna try to max out and then somehow come back, even if your opponent has a massive bank.
Well, another Nidus goes up from Shin up in the main base. We do have a Azal that moves forward to try and go after that, but yeah, I mean, Showtime going to try and do a little bit of something. He is attacking around the right side. This base is not that well protected. A few lings, a couple of lurkers, apparently good enough for the moment, though. This is just taking us a long time to do much here. Now these High Templars have to try and run. The lurkers are going to get forwards. It looks as though Showtime's just going to try and send it. The lurkers ran very far forwards, though, and we actually are going to be able to turn this fight onto the lurkers. So we're able to kill a bunch of those, and we're just missing the ability to maybe get the last few lurkers. Those 3 that have been there have really been the only things that have been good about this defense from Shin. There was a lot of good moments there from Showtime. Got a couple of storms dashing out of that storm to minimize some of the damage taken at least. Showtime just can't keep reinforcing is the problem.
Yes, he absolutely cannot. He's broke as a joke, and Shin is in his face, killing his 5th base. I will call it the 5th base, but realistically it's his 3rd base now. As that one goes down, so is most of his mining. He's still trying to reinforce at the front because he knows it's now or never, but it's gonna be never this game, as Shin ties up the series.
That was a very fun game because Shin was definitely in a bad position. He knew what he had to do, which was, you know, have an impact across the map. Boom. Gets the Nidus down. Like you said, he did everything he needed to make sure the Nidus went up because he knew he needed to. So he fought at the front when it wasn't good to play that distraction, and it is good enough to go for a game number 2 victory, which ties this series up. I'm going to go to Whispers of Gold for a map 4. Get that hosted, and yeah, we are going to be seeing Showtime now tied up, but definitely getting into good positions in the games. Just needs to obviously be able to play it all the way through, that's all.
Yep. 100%. I find one discussion very funny, which is that one discussion that I've had with a bunch of also pro Zerg players that think the dash is pretty much useless. But what I'm thinking, since it comes in so late into the game, but I figured if I'm playing Hydras at all, and I am on Hive Tech, I would always rather have the upgrade than not have it, so I would always research it. And it does always come in handy, even if the situations are rare. It comes in handy like 2 or 3 times per game at the very least. I feel like the better you are at using it, the more often it comes in handy. So I feel like it does have its uses, even though it might not completely change the game or change the outcome of the game necessarily. It seems like a fun upgrade to use as well, which I think is always quite nice. So
I think it's great. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those upgrades which is like there's just no downside to it. It's like why not?
Exactly.
You know?
That's my thought process as well. A lot of Zergs say that it's useless, so why have it? But it's not completely useless. It's fun to use, and it won't be broken, like obviously, but
yeah,
it just looks fun to me.
All these other Zergs want to be broken, man. They want like Hydras to like jump in the sky and fly around or something. Like, yeah. All right, bottom right, we are going to see Shin as our red Zerg, and Showtime is in the top left as our blue Protoss. Whispers of Gold. Couple longer games between these two to start off this semi-final. We've got CLEM versus Solar afterward as well. So, yeah, fun matches coming up all the way through. I really think this one could be an epic. Showtime already played an epic against Bjorn earlier as well. That series ended in an awesome clash on El Dorado. It's been a fun day of games.
Yeah, that one I watched as well. with a lot of disruptors that didn't one-shot Marauders, with the Ghost being slightly weaker. It was very fun to watch.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it. Like, I actually think as well, it's like, yeah, they don't one-shot like full HP Marauders, but it's like if they're stimmed a little bit or like hurting, you've had a fight already, or you can chase it. Like it's more impactful still. Like it's still impactful, obviously, right? So I don't know, I've been kind of liking it.
Yeah, interesting to see how it plays out. Showtime is going for the block again. I saw some people say that Zerg players wanted the hatch to be cheaper, so we don't get blocked. Obviously, 25 minerals doesn't matter for getting blocked or not. It might help if they put us a bit late, but this is not the case. This is just to make the queen weaker. It helps us with making the queen weaker. It's also an overall economy nerf for Zerg since we make more queens than hatcheries.
A conspiracy theory, man.
Yeah, it's some crazy theories that I've seen out there.
Crazy. Article coming through. Not much to say just yet. Do you think there's any? Obviously, you mentioned probably the need for a lot of triple oracles. Do you think there's anything else Protoss can do a lot more, kind of on this patch or anything, or do you think it's just going to be more of the same, just with slight edits?
I think it's probably going to be very similar. If I had to guess, I would say that Tempests are slightly stronger, not necessarily so much in the early game, even though Tempest openers are, I think, is very map dependent, but they do exist. But just mixing in some Tempest with the supply change, I think, is cool, because I think the most limiting factor against Zerg with Tempest is the anti-ground range, since that one remained the same. Those are a little bit stronger. Obviously, the Mothership is what's... I literally make one Viper just to abduct the Mothership, because it's such an annoying unit to play against. So that I can't do anymore.
Yep.
But from the early game, I think from the ground up, it's going to be relatively similar, to be honest.
I think that's the thing with SC2 at the minute, right? It's just the game is so well established that in theory a lot of the good changes should really not change the game too much from the ground up, right? Because it's very well established and it's more like little tweaks that we need to see. I also feel like this when we have like a PTR event and I'm watching, I'm like, man, a lot of these games feel very similar, but it's like, you know, it's the smaller things that just shift over time that really have the impact, so...
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I personally would love it as well, like anyone else, for it to feel completely fresh and for us to completely change something, but it's very risky since we can't just change something every week. For example, I play a lot of Deadlock and they just patch the game every week so they can try out new stuff all the time. This is not very easy to do here in StarCraft, because you need to collaborate. Obviously, it's a collaboration between ESL and the pro gamers to bring the patches, but then Blizzard also needs to implement them. So it's not the most simple system out there.
Yeah, definitely convoluted.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're gonna go down. So Showtime gets a grab here. On his way to that Twilight Council with 3 additional gates. So this is one of those times where you're going to see the single Oracle and then just straight into that Twilight Council. This is one of those faster timers you were mentioning earlier where you can maybe get away with one Oracle a little bit more and then you can really hit the time off the Twilight as best as possible. You're going to throw a 3rd base down with this, and there's the Glaives coming up. So Glaive aggression. A lot of the time when you kind of go Nexus and then these Glaives, like obviously you'd like to do damage, but so much of it is kind of limiting the Zerg economy. More so than kind of actually like killing Zerg economy, right? Like if you can force the Zerg to make enough units, then that's still good for you because your 3rd isn't exactly slow.
Yes, 100%. One thing that I also like to mention is that we do rely more on Spore Crawlers now, because Spore Crawlers get a buff and Queens get a nerf, so we try to make less Queens and we make the Spore Crawlers. But we used to only make 1 Spore early on, and then if we don't see a second Oracle, we remain on a single Spore Crawler, which now we make the 3 Spore Crawlers early on. So that's a nerf basically against something like 1 Oracle into Glaives, as Shin is doing a Link Flat together with a Queen Walk, which on paper I think should be bad against Glaives if the Glaive can finish.
Yeah, Glaive's not done just yet. A lot of this is about kind of controlling for a little while at Showtime. Wait till they get that Glaives done. You're going to see the Link's going to try and go for the natural. More Adepts going to reveal themselves there, and Shin, yeah, this is kind of rough because your Queens are out in the middle of the map. The first Queen's going to go down middle of nowhere. Second and 3rd Queen showing up on the right side. Obviously, the Queens here, you know, obviously usually help out a lot against the Oracle and so on, but in this case, there's not really much Oracle to help out against the one. Yes, sure, but the Adept's going to shade across now as Showtime feels like he can apply pressure. He can deal with this just with Warpins. I mean, that says it all, right? If he can just shade his units across the map and be okay at home. Yeah, he's looking great right now as these adepts. Gonna get in this mineral line, and even just being clumped up in a mineral line against Ling should be a great trade at the moment.
Yep, 100% there. They did end up actually getting clamped up completely. I was a little bit afraid that they were going to split
Yeah.
and then it would be a fine engagement for Shin. But Showtime recognized that issue and he fixed it right away. The padding of his shade. He even snipes with 4 at this base. I mean, this was just... it's pretty much a build or loss. It's pretty rough for Shin. I think he was hoping for a triple Oracle opener, which I also do not think it will work against, if I'm being entirely honest, because you can refresh the energy of the Oracles and you can snipe the Queens. Since I think he walked with the Queens 1 by 1. They weren't even clamped up, so I think they would have just lost the fight.
They were all over. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting, right? Because with energy overcharge, a lot of the time when you kind of see these Queen walks, like Oracles run out of energy, it's like, oh, they can't add DPS anymore, but you're right, with energy overcharge, they're going to be able to just keep on firing all the way through. Shin here is just in a hopeless position. He's going to GG. Rightfully so. He's got no tech on the field. He's pure Ling Queen against a massive Adepts. Down in workers. And we're going to see the most one-sided game of this series so far. Showtime will take the edge and take the lead again. Going to go up 2-1 in the best of 5.
Yeah, it is very interesting. All the Ling-based all-ins, I think, are a little bit harder to make work now, because even if you walk the queen, so for example if I'm doing a Ravager Ling Queen all-in, the Lings will always go outside of the queen range. So the Oracles, as long as the Protoss doesn't run them into the queens, should get very, very good value done. So Protoss usually has the ranged units that are kiting against the Ravager Ling, and then the Oracles stand above their army, or they're clearing up Lings in the natural, and pretty much always at some point they do run out of energy. And now I think they shouldn't really. So in some scenarios, this is even above defensively. There's still a lot of scenarios where this isn't the case, where the energy overcharge just would actually change the outcome entirely of the defense. But many times also we could just focus fire it. I mean, depends a little bit on the all-in. Very often with Ravager Ling all-ins, we would just target fire the exact battery that is being overcharged. And in those cases, I would rather have an Oracle that can always shoot at the Zerglings.
We are going to have... join us here. Perfect. Sorry, I'm doing some counting. Counting to 9's hard in the in the observer numbers. So, players gonna ready up, and we're gonna go into Claire.
I like how the lobbies look on the PTR. There are some diamond players in the observers. There's even some Silver League players, which I haven't even seen the border of it, to be entirely honest. It looks very different from what I'm used to.
Yeah. It's instead of like everyone just either being legalist or GM, basically. It's
yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit of a mix and match in the lobbies. It's very true. I didn't even realize. I mean, it makes sense that we have ranks on the PTR. I just didn't even think about it. And then someone, like, because the first couple of days I did it, obviously no one was really ranked. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing people in like Diamond League and stuff, and I'm like, oh, awesome. So we do have top right Showtime, bottom left Shin. In game number 4 on Amygdala. This is maybe one of them. I mean, Eldorado's a pretty interesting map, but this map's kind of intriguing too, with this entire central area kind of walled off. Any initial thoughts on this one? Because it's definitely one of the lesser played maps, which makes it kind of controversial amongst the players so far, I guess.
Super interesting. I will have to play more to know for certain if I like the map or not. Potentially bad against Terran, I would say, and against Protoss just very, very interesting. Because you need to kill the rocks to defend the gold base, but you can take the gold base relatively soon. So as a fort base, you can take it, I suppose. But then you also need to have a mobile army that can defend run base at the same time as being literally on the center of the map, which is very close to your opponent's base. So a tempo-based map. Also a map that, even though theoretically I think it should be bad against Terran, should be super easy against Terran, because the Hellions can't like change the direction at all. So it's if you see this map in TVZ, I can guarantee you over time Terrans are just gonna start playing 3CZ 2-1-1 every game. This is usually how it goes with these maps. But yeah, interesting. I can't tell for sure yet because I haven't played enough. I played a couple games on it, and it looks like a cool map so far.
I kind of like it if this becomes one of our like crazier maps in the map pool because of the center being weird, but like I feel like it plays pretty nicely outside of it. I like outside of the middle, so like if this is like our new crazy, I'm okay with it, because sometimes when they have the crazy maps, like they're just very bad. I feel like this could at least find a place in the map pool.
100%, I agree with you. Like I prefer this over the crazy maps of the last couple of seasons 100% of the time. But I'm not sure if we have do we know what maps we keep? Or
Nah, they haven't said anything.
because it's just... Okay.
It's not even official that these would 100% be the maps joining the ladder map pool, but I can't imagine they're not. But
Yeah.
I am scared that they're just like, alright guys, they were actually the 6 normal maps, and here's 3 crazy maps, full map pool refresh. Because, you know, map pools have been a thing in the past, but yeah. I don't know. I don't even know which maps are like due to leave. I don't know which ones have been... I don't know, like, of the 9 map pools, some of them were already from a previous season as well, right?
I can't remember. I would need
it's
to
been
think
too long.
more about it, yeah. We play so long on the same map pool, but I mean, if we keep Dynasty, for example, and I don't know. I don't even remember the map names now. All of them, but yeah. Then all of a sudden the map pool doesn't look as great. I mean, it depends a lot on the 3 extra maps. But so far, all of the maps I've seen so far look alright. Some of them actually very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Link speed coming up here in a moment from Shin. Showtime is once again on the on the Stargate, and the Oracle is on its way out. We'll see what his follow-up will be. More Oracles or some more sneaky plays. There's a couple of Adepts just come through, shooting out a lane, shading out of there, putting some pressure on early. And of course, keep those alive, because Showtime loves to kind of join those Adepts up with the Oracles and try and poke about. So, likely keep those alive. Protect third base location 2, which is what he goes to right now. And second Oracle starts up as well.
Shin actually plays blind Spore Crawler, which is not common. Even though he does have 2 queens out in time, so he could wait until he confirms the Oracle. But I think that's just how strong the Spore Crawlers are now, and the fact that you do want to delay the queens a little bit, otherwise you can't spend your larva. That maybe the blind Spore will become a thing. Obviously that would be bad against, let's say, Showtime faked, not getting Warp Gate and then goes for Glaives. If you're a Zerg and you have 2 Spores against the Glaives, all of a sudden it's a very difficult defense, because that's the 2 drones that you're lacking from the Spores and obviously the extra minerals. And Shin actually going for a quick Evo Chamber, which I think is the first time he did this. I'm expecting melee here.
Yep. And the Evo Chamber up, and like you say, you want to see melee. I think that makes sense. It's such a fast Evo Chamber, and that is the melee. So a little bit of a difference in approach as Showtime hits Oracle number 3 on the map. Twilight and Forge coming up, so going pretty standard routing once again. How does melee shape up against that? Is there anything Shin would be liking to play against right now more than anything else?
It would be perfect. So melee with Baningness is pretty much a blind counter to Oracle into Glaives, so that it would be good against. And then if it's not that, it should always be Blink. So you don't want to see Charge Load Archon if you play melee, and you really do like to see Blink. Especially aggressive Blink styles melee is good against, but I think melee in general you can get value out of it, even if you want to transition into a missile-centric playstyle. Because of the overcharge nerf, I think Bling Run buys just get a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So I like seeing the melee even if he wants to go into Lurkers later on.
Depth's got 3 drones over there. Another couple of Depths going to get caught as we shade back into another mineral line. No, we're actually going to get 2. I was going to say 2 more drones. We do get 2 more drones. Stasis Ward catches a couple of units in the back as well, so Showtime with a flurry of units there. That's just going to be seeing the couple of Oracles back in the center, joining up with the rest of the links.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool execution of Showtime's attack there, trying to split into 3 different sides and trying to hit everywhere at once. The one thing that he didn't focus on, like he did beforehand, is clearing the creep, so the creep is looking better than in the past games, but in exchange for that, he dealt some damage, which he really didn't do that much of prior in the series.
Yeah. Well, the couple of links trying to open up some rocks, but Showtime will just clear those out. Again, a couple of Oracles going to be hanging around. Another Stalker out on the ramp. Oracle going to continue to patrol. The Overlord up to the top as well. Again, +1 and Blink both continuing into play. Melee upgrade building. 26 more lings in production as well, so loads of lings with that melee upgrade. Of course, lair finishing, so we'll see the future tech from Shin momentarily. As, yeah, taking this gold base for his 4th. And we'll see what Showtime does if he wants to try and put any pressure on that at all. As we are now going to go missiles with that Hydro Den, so that's going to be the next step on the way.
I'm surprised Showtime didn't try to deter the Zerglings from the rocks. Usually that would be a waste of Oracle energy, but I feel like if you keep these rocks down and then the Stalkers end up behind the gold base, what are you going to do as a Zerg? You will need to sacrifice Zerglings against the rocks eventually. And if you have Stalkers behind them, it's going to be even more expensive for the Zerg. So now Shin going for a big backstab with the Zerglings. He feels this is the time where Showtime moved out. He would be correct, but Showtime was busy attacking the rocks, so the Stalkers are still there. and it ended up being a little bit of an anti-timing for Shin.
More Lings coming about, the infestation pick coming up. Again, charge coming through. Stalker's actually going to catch these Lings, getting a blink on top to get a few more as well, so we love to see those. The Oracle's coming back and going to drop a couple of stasis wards down as well. Get back into the center, and this is going to be where you have those stasis wards to protect against the Lings running in. The drones and the gold have to pull away immediately, and this is going to be a little bit rough right now as you're actually going to lose the extractor on the gold base as well. Single Ling does activate the stasis at least, so that's a bonus, but the Stalkers are in range of the hatchery too, so you kind of got to fight this now or give up your gold, and this has not been pretty.
Yeah, not so pretty so far. I think mostly because of the amount of Zerglings that he lost already on the other side of the map. He should have enough, given that he stayed on a very low worker count himself, and Showtime is going double upgrades and Storm, none of which is here right now. Oh, and Showtime actually getting quite surrounded there. Not that many stasis wards to fall back to, so he's losing a decent chunk of his Stalkers here, which is definitely not optimal.
Yeah.
Still, overall, I would say an even trade.
Yeah, one of the worst moments of Showtime, he was just not ready to pull back when the Lings committed, then the blink was on cooldown for a second. Like you say, not a lot of stasis wards, so you had to go far back until the stasis came to help. I think, yeah, like you say, it was still actually okay for him. It's just, this was very good, and that was a moment where Shin looked a little bit better, at least, as from one stasis ward to the next, man. It's going to be kind of silly continue to see these stasis wards all the time, as there's just so many of them available. Now, the Lings and the Hydras keep on pressing through. We're going to see one Zealot going down, another stasis going to catch a few Lings as well. Drones and the gold have to evacuate once again. So Shin did keep this base alive, but still unable to really mine from it, and Showtime's very happy just sitting in the middle of the map, controlling this space, and in the end, actually full-on denying this gold now.
Yep. Yeah, this is what I meant when I talked about this being a tempo-based map, because Showtime gained the tempo by killing all the Zerglings at first, instantly from this one mistake that Shin made earlier on. Now he can't control this area of the map, which is very important for him, because now he can't mine from the gold base. But no, I think Showtime went a little bit too far. Never mind, as the High Templar zone out the Hydra flank from the left. Does manage to escape with most of his Stalkers. Now, is he just going to go Fleet Beacon again? I think he should, because his robos are very late. And because now that he does see the Lurkers, I definitely think he does need something else rather than just Stalkers and High Templars.
Well, Ling just going to peel around. Again, Stalkers and High Templars gather up. Just going to step forwards, creep spread. In the middle will obviously be something you're still stepping onto here. Going to try and re-establish the gold. Little Ling run by. It's only a single Ling across the map, so never mind that. Yeah, heading into that Fleet Beacon, getting answers ready, and just controlling the map. Of course, Showtime's kind of just 4 bases unanswered on the other side, and just very comfortable there. Starting to set up some run-bys himself around the left. It's a pretty powerful run-by. 2 Archons, 2 High Templars, and Zealots. It's pretty great against anything you go up against that isn't just a massive army of Shin. Like, without it being everything, it feels like this will always find a decent trade.
Yeah, and it's also, together with the 2 High Templars, you have nothing really that can catch you. It's not like the Zerglings can surround him and then catch his army entirely. Showtime this time defended the first Nidus, which is always the scariest. The one got you moment that Shin had in game number 2 from the series didn't happen this time around. He tried to go at the natural, and Showtime did pay attention, so I think the scariest moment now is gone, as Showtime's starting to add an extra Stargate, and the Mothership is on the way already. I like it.
Yeah, Mothership coming up. These Lurkers are very on their own, but Lurkers on their own can do better than you'd oftentimes expect. The Zealots and the units on the left side trying to move up. Shin has a lot of units on the counter. He does also have the Nidus top side, so it's going to get some Hydras in position, and now we're going to have a very fun set of attacks to deal with. The Showtime going to figure out where he wants to recall to. If he does want to recall, he doesn't have a lot of energy on his Nexus, so recalls maybe not in the question right now for defense, so he's just going to pull back. That takes a little bit of time, although to be fair, we've not really lost much during this, but now we're going to see the Nidus in the main, but Showtime has one Stalker on top of it, putting some damage out. Zealot coming to help, so that should be a denial. Good Storm to kill a bunch of those Lings off. The units coming from the top left are going to be the biggest scare factor right now. Nidus in the main is fully denied. And it looks as though Showtime controls what was a very scary couple of moments. Shin going kind of full throttle for a second there.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised. He didn't even spend his recall, so he still has that as an emergency exit. As now he does bunch up his units, he kills those rocks. I think Showtime's army would win this fight if it does go for an engagement with a properly set up concave, but instead Showtime is just playing it safe. He leaves most of his ranged units here, together with the High Templars, which makes it hard for Shin to advance forward with his Lurkers. As you can see, they're taking a lot of damage. And he's trying to counterattack with the Zealots. This is mostly freeing up supply. Definitely not efficient. an efficient way to use the Zealots, but he just needs the supply open for more Tempest.
Yep, Tempest is able to come up off the back of that, so not the end of the world that those Zealots can do too much. Showtime's base is getting kind of broken through. Here comes the Mama Ship, though. Gonna pop the cloaking up straight away, and there is no detection here right now on this side of Shin. We time warp to catch one extra lurker, a couple of units getting chased. We're actually not gonna go into the Nidus. Maybe afraid he couldn't get everything in time. So, yeah, not gonna go in the Nidus just yet. Gonna continue to go, just run away. And he does get out. Now the Nidus to be killed. And Showtime will finally clean up this upper left kind of area which Shin has been working from for the last little bit. Kept that base alive just about too. And has a 5th base now on the right side that's coming online on 3 o'clock. That's not well defended or anything just yet, but it is an option if Shin doesn't do anything about it.
Yes. Interesting to see that Showtime does not even try to take the gold base. It's obviously going to be very hard to hold with lurkers from behind, hydras from behind. That can at any moment deny your mining there, but it seems like a more easily defendable position than the one to the bottom right. The one that Showtime ends up taking now. I think that one looks even more exposed to me, but we'll see how it ends up playing out. I think the one thing that Showtime is not as good as someone like Hero at, for example, is that once he has the Tempest,
Hello guys, can you hear me? I can't read Twitch chat. My Twitch won't load, but I think we're streaming. But my YouTube's working, right? You guys can hear me on YouTube? Okay, let me fix this. My Discord won't load properly, and I have a couple of things that aren't looking good right now. Hang on. Working on it. You guys can hear me on YouTube? Perfect. Okay, that's one thing at least. My Twitch isn't coming back though. Alright, sorry for that. My internet just went down on yeah, my internet just went down. Oh, my server just does not like Twitch at all right now. Why? Okay, hello guys on YouTube. Sorry, I'm still fixing stuff. Because my Twitch isn't back up and my Battle.net's not up and my Discord's not up, so I've got a bunch of problems. So it's very weird because like a few things are working, but only like a couple of things. Oh, that's very sad. I might just have to oh, I'm on Wi-Fi right now. Yeah, that would make sense. Cool. Yep, I'm on the other internet. I wonder if my... I need to see if the other internet's back up. Hang on. Let me see. It is not. Let me reset one of my routers. Certain things won't load at all. Do I ever show off those SSD models that I have? They look great. Yeah, every now and then. Alright, looks like stuff's coming back. At least my Twitch chat's just come back. My Twitch is back. We good? Trying to connect to StarCraft. Can't tell what internet I'm on because my StarCraft's in the way. I'm still on the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm still on the Wi-Fi. It's gonna struggle to stream. It is. I am resetting my internet, guys. Sorry, BRB. So everything's kind of like slowly coming back on, but I'm pretty sure my main internet's still just down. Which is not good. They have paused the game, but it's very likely that I might have to go offline on YouTube, guys, because my backup internet can't multi-stream. So my backup internet can't multi-stream, which is why everything's slow right now, because it's trying to output to two different sources. And that's just draining the internet, basically. I'm gonna give it like 1 more minute before I make a call. Yeah, give me 1 minute and then just gonna have to try and decide what to do. I don't think the main internet's coming back at all. Oh, is it? Oh, it's just reconnected to the other one on my phone. Yeah, there's just no internet at all. Rip. All right, give me one more second, guys. I try restart one more time. I guess. Last check. It's very likely that the way that we fix this is just by going offline on YouTube, guys. That's basically my best fix. Because I have internet, I just don't have good enough internet to stream on both Twitch and YouTube. Because my backup internet still exists. It's just not good enough to stream on both, that's all. Unfortunately, Twitch is the priority. Which is very sad because we were literally hitting peak YouTube viewership of all time. So that's very sad. But sometimes you just can't have nice things.